Just as a person, he's very calm, he's very calculated, very, I don't want to say easygoing, but you can tell there is like a certain discipline to him. So Rambo's going to be a good coach who's had a lot of experience winning championships in previous iterations of Counter-Strike, and he was very good tactically. He's been brought into lineups back in 1.6 when he was playing and when he was at the top to add that strategic element. So he can help out in a variety of ways with Cloud9. I thought he did really good work with complexity when he was the coach for them. So another guy I think is going to get some better recognition.
Well, Jason, I think we're going to go ahead and bring in the commentators and maybe get their thoughts on some of this, because as it stands, you can tell we're not in the game. You're not watching the game. I'm tired of watching people just type, shut up and start the game. That's not what we're doing around here. What we are going to do is maybe you guys can give us sort of a background of Sam.
I mean, Sam coming into the Mountain Dew League, I think that's the first time I saw him playing, and ever since then he's been lights out. So he skyrocketed through. He essentially got poached.
Yeah, I was competing when Sam actually started in the Mountain Dew League, and I was playing against him, and he was this young talent. He had some great aim, but I never really saw how it would rise. And then finally, he started to just hop on these teams one after the other. He started to grow as an individual player, gets into FPL, or sorry, Rank S, I do believe. And then from Rank S is where his career skyrocketed.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is a player that has been given a lot of attention lately. So it'll be interesting to see what a player like this can do. And we know that there are younger players that have come through the systems, the same one as this guy.
Yep.
And I'm guessing that that's kind of what the idea here is for Envious.
Yeah, I don't really know what the idea is from MVS, to be honest with you. I would love to have like a deep dive into deep dive into the mind of like what's happening with this team and where we think it's going to go. So I mean, especially with, that'd be cool if we get to interview Nifty. As I said, I think it's super interesting that he had that whole discussion that we saw, like acting like he's the one who like pulled the pieces. Like I saw these three guys and it just
that was a bold decision for him, right? Right? I'm calling the shots here.
So that was, I mean, it's not that I necessarily think it's a bad idea. I just thought it was very, very interesting and intriguing to me.
Well, he in my opinion has come a long way too in his career, right? You were talking about that the Renegades time that he spent there, and he really proved himself to be a top player, at least in the NA circuit. And I can trust that Envy trusts his decisions.
Yeah, probably. But what I'm gonna have to say is like there is still a contention for like the best player in A, right? Is that fair to say?
I don't know.
No, we just kind of all.
I think he's trying to put his ticket in the hat for that.
Okay.
One. Whoa.
I think I could be in that one.
No, I definitely think like when we're looking at top NA players, I think they're all on one team, and I think we know which team that is.
America. Right?
Sure.
Oh, okay. No. Okay. I just figured I'd go for it. What we will do is hear from the pros in a speed session about who they thought was the best NA player. And when we come back, hopefully we'll be jumping into Inferno. But if not, well, you'll see more of us.
The best North American player of all time would have to be Automatic. He's really good mechanically, and he's also really smart.
The best North American player of all time, that's a hard question, but
I will use someone that is playing right now, because like I said, I'm not an old school player, so I can't really tell about CS 1.6 or something like that. So I'm going with Netfly.
The best player in North American CSGO would have to be Alish.
Well, I would go for Automatic from Cloud9 because I just think that he's a complete player. He's OP now. He can do like rifles. He can do whatever he wants. But it's a tough question because there's a lot of NA players like out there playing like super good lately.
Best North American player of all time, I'll go Fraud. I think he really put up his mark when he was playing CS 1.6 and CS Source.
There's a lot of versions of CS. I'm gonna have to pick who's the current best North American player, which is Automatic. He's on our team. He's just so skilled, and he performs under pressure every time.
Well, skilled and performing under pressure is the plan of the hour right here, I think, is with what we got, what we have going on. I guess, is there any disagreement with any of those? I mean, obviously, Automatic being a talking point, probably the best. Is that fair, Jason?
Automatic's in the conversation. I would put Elige up there. I'd put Twist up there.
Very fair.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to choose just one.
Just all those players on the Liquid lineup.
I wouldn't have Stewie up there, to be honest.
Stewie's had a pretty slow week this week.
Whoa. What'd you say, Jason?
I said I wouldn't put Stewie up there.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. What do you have, Jason? let's kind of dive into the mind of the O'Toole himself and see what it is about young Stu2K that you maybe disagree with.
I think Stewie's a phenomenal player. I wouldn't put him in the category of best player. I think when you look at someone like Automatic, Elige, Twist, I think they're a little bit more like fully fleshed out in terms of their different skill sets they have in Counter-Strike.
So you're saying you wouldn't put him in like the best category, you put him in like the GOAT category?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's what I
See
meant.
now
Yeah.
that we just misunderstood it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in all seriousness,
Idiots.
Liquid being that team that has kind of fielded the best of the best within North America, and it kind of shows. I mean, we can see the responses, we see what they're doing. Obviously, they have this big thing about liking second place the most. These things happen, Jason.
Yeah, they do. They do happen indeed. I mean, listen, Liquid has the best NA team ever assembled, but there are a lot of skilled players elsewhere, and I think a lot of these North American teams, I think we need them to start going a little bit younger. I like seeing Cloud9. It's the one recipe when we're talking about Stewie that's worked for them in the past where they've gone younger to like an unknown person and picked him up, and I would like to see them continue with that. At the moment, they're just kind of reaching for some scraps.
Yeah. I was just going to add to that note just the fact that a lot of people are saying that Cloud9 are picking up these players and just kind of throwing them into it and expecting them to do good. But I really think that's a good way to look at it when you have the option to, look at all these different players, throw them into the fray, and whoever comes out of the fire as the dominant player, well, that's probably going to be who Cloud9 settles on.
Well, there was a guy that I guess Cloud9 went with at one point. And you're talking about going through the fire. This guy put up a hell of a performance in his run here last week. Unfortunately, his team did not have the best of runs, but that is besides the fact that this guy made a play. Let's go ahead and check out Shazam's play here. Yeah, that was
when I was casting it, I ran out of breath. Literally every D after the moment was just like, "There's no way this next one's
froze up.
coming."
I was kind of concerned. I was kind of concerned.
Yeah, I think I'd have to put Shazam up there with probably Shroud as one of the best NA players of all time. Is that?
It's a bold decision there, Stunner.
Just trying to incite a riot. Everybody calm down. Everything's under control around here. We are still waiting on the match to start. As you can tell, we have not shut up, and we will not start the game until you sit down in your chair and you take it easy and let us kind of do what we have to do up here, as well as I got the live on 3 command ready to go, guys.
Can I throw out a question?
Hit the button. Yeah, go ahead.
Throw out a question. What do we want to talk about? Group A, nah, B, nah.
He's pointing at me.
C.
Well, what would you say is the best Canadian of all time?
Naf.
Naf?
Are we talking raw fragging potential or just overall general?
Like, would you knock Naf off the? Would you knock Shagwar off the Naf pedestal?
Oh, we're
That's an
talking
interesting
all
one.
time, all
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
All time.
'Cause
We mentioned Fraud and everything too, and Fraud was a phenomenal American player.
Yeah.
But looking at the Canadians.
Yeah, I mean, as a fellow Canadian yourself, I'm not a Canadian, but as a Canadian yourself, who would you
Biased
put up there?
Casker.
Stevenson.
Ooh, that's
we're going
a
way
big
back.
name.
Come in with a third option that
Well-
you and all of Twitch chat don't even know about.
Well, EG was definitely one of the more dominant lineups, but goddamn, Stevenson, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, he was good.
Look,
Mr.
there was
Jesse.
GRT that was lingering around not too long ago.
Yeah, he was. He's been around.
Garrett,
Yeah, Garrett Vanbrugh.
I'd definitely say Shagwar with a close with Twiss. I'm going to say Twiss.
Yeah, I mean, Canada known for fielding its Counter-Strike talent. I guess if you had to look for players in the up-and-coming region, I think North America and Canada and all that has all definitely been together for the
I'm not going to lie. I
little
always
while.
forget that Twist is Canadian.
Really?
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
surprised.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I think
he's
I've
damn
just
good.
claimed him for the United
You
States.
can take him, man.
Yeah,
I want him.
I think we're just going to have him from now on.
Yeah, we might as well, especially if he's going to keep competing underneath that Liquid banner. I do believe that the game's not ready to start yet. Go figure that.
You
So,
had me in the first half.
yeah, I almost had you ready to go into the game, but we're not quite there. We do have Cloud9 and Envy on the cards here, and it's going to be Inferno, the first match up. But instead of the blueberry-flavored wind sauce that you guys have been drinking all afternoon, the loose sauce is now. I think it's time we go to a break, and when we come back, we hopefully are into the game. It looks like Inferno on the cards.
terrible land. We are here to your omission. We are many of one. We're coming home with a mission to tear you down from your undeserved throne. We can take your conviction. We are many of one. You may call it a virus, but we call it the antidote. It's an answer to science. Nature is here to revolt. Subdivide. I'll show you how it's done. There's no sides we go inside. The many is the one. You build your walls with faith in God. They never come around. Then wonder why we all defy the burden to be born. We're coming home with a mission to bring an end to a terrible land. We are here to your omission. We are many of one. We're coming home with a mission to tear you down from your undeserved throne. We can take your conviction. We are many of one. You may call it a virus.
Ladies and gents, welcome back to the Pro League. We are underway in Group C. Our first NA teams going at it. It's going to be Envy versus Cloud9. The pistol round underway, so get us off the screens and we're good to go. First blood being drawn. It's just a little bit of a scratch, though, for the side of Team Envy. They've lost their first. It's been traded out evenly as it goes back and forth. Golden holding over here on the new box, going ham on it. No, Android's only able to stand up at the top of the grill before he falls. Cloud9 on an instantaneous pistol round. Glad we skipped all the beginning by part of
Who needs a
pistol round.
freeze time?
Let's just see
I don't
the
need
frags.
freeze time. I just want to see the frags. But in that round, you see Envy trying to come out with a fast B rush off the bat. Vice initially makes that contact, not really being able to get more than one, and it leaves Golden behind that try-box. As the Envy players are popping in, Golden actually decides to go to the right of try-box, takes a guy down with a great shot towards Banana, and during that time, Automatic starts rolling in. Automatic's able to back his teammate up, protect Golden's left side, and that's what allows Golden to progress into his second kill as well. So a great little team play from Cloud9. They're going to pick up pistol.
Yes, they do. Now they've got themselves Envy, who are actually taking the same road as we saw earlier today. So maybe it's something about Group C that doesn't go for this force buy in the second round. Group A and B, everybody was going for that one. Ooh, this is going to be a pretty good raid. I think it does. JDM eats most of that one. A lot of damage being dealt, but Golden, how much more do you have left in the magazine? Not nearly enough. He's able to get one in there, but now Vice has himself a UMP. He2's running out of ammo, but 3 kills stacked up for him, all assisted by Golden. So Golden, the assist lord on that one, 3 for him.
Honestly, eco round, not really much to say about that. Envy, with the pop flash, they do push back. I do believe that was Automatic towards the top of Banana there that went down early in that round. But they do push him back. They do get themselves 1 kill. But other than that, there's not really much they can do. Having to force through that smoke, you see Golden as well as Vice pull off that 4K. Well, Vice pulls it off. Golden there really just doing that chip damage. It was a fairly easy round for Cloud9 to pick up. But we got guns coming up now, Dallas. Envy buying up fully.
That's right. Uh-oh. Psalm's worried about it. Yeah. Oh, no. He flubbed the smoke. He has to advance ahead. 75 damage nade. That's a stinger. More nades are coming his way. It's getting a bit hot.
And there
as
you go.
a grenade finishes him off. That was just awkward for Psalm. They pushed the bomb up through the top left side of the brackets, and Cajun B is unable to get to Arch in time. So he shifts a little bit further to the left and tries to get him in Library, but he loses his life there as well. The bomb now coming straight across the lane. On Moto's side, JDM's able to trade it. Luckily, the bomb still stands.
Okay.
JDM 2 kills right there. It's a 2v2, and Nifty hasn't shown himself yet. So Cloud9 might assume that he's in along with side by side with JDM, but he's up top.
He just threw the nade, so Golden knows. Golden knows exactly where Nifty is. He's going to be able to pick up JDM now. Nifty, his position has been given away. They have smokes, they have Molotovs, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Smoking off Nifty now, making that contact is Golden, and picking up the frag as well. Cloud9 on to 3.
Excellent retake there. And yeah, that being up in the apartments is all fine, but how quickly Cloud9 was able to rotate around there, spotting that smoke sail out of the apartments, and they just took it one at a time. They knew there was one still on the site. Fortunate enough that they were able to flank to the backside of that and catch him unbeknownst. So there it is, 3-0 start quickly, as rapid as that, and it might be a 4th as well. Envy have themselves just some perform.
Yeah, in that round, Envy deciding that they want to wrap onto A. Cloud9 actually boosting on the porch. Rush actually spots all of that out, while Cajun B spots the wrap happening, so they're able to adjust their setup based off of that. Automatic picking up 1 frag as well as Rush. It was a great round overall from the Cloud9 side to secure that A bomb site.
These mollies in Banana. If that one was just a little bit favored to the left, that might have made trouble for Psalm and Nifty. Their utility right now would have been one of the rare smokes that they actually have just to get out of that one. So if that's not even able to be used on the execute, that's how useful some of these just early utility trades can be, especially favored to Cloud9, who have more than excess compared to Envy.
Definitely. Right now, we do see the Envy side moving up towards Banana here, making a little bit of contact. Vice hasn't really used any utility in this round, maybe just the Molotov to start it off, but he's got plenty as we move past that minute mark on the round. Envy, though, they haven't taken any control. They have a smoke, they have flashes, they should be taking bracket control momentarily, but with the clock winding down, they either have to start peering off into sites or just get ready for an execute completely.
Good Molotov right there on the close angle so that they can peek out of Boiler safely, and then they'll come right around, same thing, same spot to the left side of brackets, but they themselves are met with a Molotov. So now they're down into the sub-40s. And some smoke execute over to B site just to keep Vice here. Maybe some, oh, he's actually boosted up on top. So you do have 2 players respectful there, and it's going to try to wrap B. Automatic smells it, though. He's going to be able to come from the backside of this one. Gold is able to tag 2, make it a 3rd player, softening them all up, making this take so much more difficult. Gold pairing up with 2, make it a
Great
third.
spray
They just
down.
stack up the backside of the new box, and they remain right there the whole time.
Yeah, they even left Vice in that tri-box area just to keep that bait setup going. So if Golden did go down, the side of Envy would have no idea that there's a second person there. Here you see Automatic. He spots the rush towards Spawn, able to pick up the last person going towards Spawn and Fugly, then picks up another one onto Android. Great round out of him, but Cloud9 adjusting very well to that Spawn wrap to beat.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when Cloud9 end up getting an AWP by putting it there at top mid, right where Automatic's standing right now, and holding that angle, because twice now we've seen Envy come and take that arc side direction to try and take both A and B.
Okay, and it does look like Envy now, they're only sending one person towards Banana, and that's going to be Sam here. He's going to get aggressive based off of this flash. He's making a little bit of contact with Car, so Golden does know that somebody's pushed up right now. Is Sam going to go for this contact, or is he just going to... He's going to go. He's heading up, and he's going to take down Golden here, and that's going to be Envy having the 5-on-4 advantage.
Yeah, Automatic, though, coming down mid, catching Android blindsided. There is Fugly right there looking for the trade. If he were to come out of Boiler right now, Rush would be right there to greet him, and that is exactly that. Right to the dome after a couple shots into the left shoulder, and Envy are now a man down. With just a minute to go, they've got 3 defenders over towards this B site. Automatic is flirting, thinking with the idea of going back towards A, so the direct defense is between Vice and Cajun B. They're back against the wall. Now the smokes come out for CT side. That's going to nullify Automatic just a bit, leaving Cajun B alone. He got 1 headshot in there, I believe, but it's not going to be enough to finish the job.
Ooh.
You don't need to rush this, though, if you're Cloud9.
Especially not because Automatic just naded Sam, who was going for the plant. JDM down to 23 HP as Nifty gets spotted towards Banana by Rush here. So there's a real opportunity for Automatic to make this happen. It does look like he wants to force this smoke. Is he going to do it?
Oh,
yes,
this
he does.
fades. Now the bomb is planted, so he's going to have to act a little bit quicker. He gets a shot against Nifty. I believe the headshot too. Luckily enough, Nifty was healthy. The thing was coming. I think Rush coming up through Banana was the initial contact with Nifty. But just as he peeks that left corner around the wall, he pulls a grenade out and is instead disarmed completely.
Yeah, if Rush even made a little bit of contact in that situation, that round would have been going the way of Automatic. But you were talking about the AWPs. Now we see 2 of them show up on the Cloud9 side, both Golden and Automatic. And this is something you mentioned a lot, Dallas, the expensive taste of an AWP, burning all the money on Cloud9 now to get those in their hands.
Yeah, right into it. Some teams just kind of dip their toes into the water and see, okay, one op did this much effectiveness. Instead, Cloud9 goes straight for the double op. And sometimes that can end up biting you because you've invested, like you said, everything right down to the bottom of it. And you're a little bit hamstrung on utility as well. Golden's able to get 2 grenades, that being a molly and a smoke, and then Automatic is less useful in that aspect with a single flashbang.
Envy now looking for that mid-control as Fugly and JDM peering on towards the top of it. Cloud9 have actually moved 4 players over to this middle area. Very passive setup still, but if Envy do try to peer on in through the arch side, they're going to be running into Automatic as well as Vice here, who have set up perfectly.
Yeah, this is essentially a slightly heavier stack to A. In addition, they've got Vice in there who is leaning towards A as well. He's now come through the arches and it is in A stack as far as I'm concerned, leaving only Golden over towards the B site. He's on top of the coffin, so he's playing fire and fall back at this point. So he'll delay this with a Molotov a bit, but like we said, not much utility. Luckily, though, he has a smoke behind this, but rotations are coming.
Yeah, and Vice actually has a Molotov himself, so if the execute does come in, Vice will be able to drop this in front of him. As Envy, only 20 seconds on the clock. They got to start heading in here.
Yeah, they still have that smoke. That's only about 3/4 of the way through it, so it'll start to fade as they start to sprint through it, and it is Golden up there. Vice on top of the boost is able to pick up one as well as Automatic chimes in from a distance. They have to cross this angle now. JDM catches one through the concrete. The bomb's down out in the open. What a flick from Automatic. Dead center target right through Fugly's face. And it is a response. Cloud9 immediately right back at it, and a relatively healthy round for themselves as well. I think they kept 4 alive and took an AK up as well. So now they've got even a little bit more punch.
Yeah, I'm curious as to why Envy waited so long off of that smoke towards spawn there. Yeah, there was a Molotov in front of them, but that only lasts 6 seconds. The smoke lasts between 16, 17 seconds roughly. And in that sense, Envy did have enough time to head on into the site, but delaying it just a little bit too much. That smoke fades, and that's where Automatic, who's spawned with the AWP, as well as Golden towards Coffin, and even Vice come alive.
What a nade, and now the Molotov's in there as well. Golden standing his ground. Needs to start thinking about falling back. Misses the next shot against Psalm. But Golden has done damage. Nice shot there from... Oh, uh-oh, this is awkward. Nifty's able to catch Rush. A little bit of do-si-do, roundabout the smoke at bottom mid. It's a 3v3, so Envy, who really didn't invest all that much into this round, are having a pretty good crack at it. They've sent the bomb back towards the A side quickly so. Cajun V, though, could catch this. A flashbang comes around. What a shot from Nifty. Just instant execution. And that's going to make the retake a bit difficult. Look how awkward it is when you're dual-wielding ops.
Very difficult retake right now. The double op setup that you just mentioned, and you know what? Cloud9 isn't even going to go for it. They're going to pass this round up, I do believe, to the Envy side. Or is Automatic just taking the long way through halls? It's one or the other here. As Golden heads into Library, it does look like the retake will take place here, Dallas.
I feel like somebody needs to find a weapon, a rifle that's on the ground. Golden even at range now. May have spotted Psalm. There's the head. It pokes up. Oh my goodness! Just pinpoint precision at that range. He doesn't need a scope. He doesn't need a long barrel. Now it's 1v1. Nifty's position is assumed to still be in the back absolute corner, and he's playing perfect. Just absolutely elusive. Nice shot from Automatic, but he does not have the time to be able to defuse this bomb. He'll retreat. They'll give the round to Envy, but even with a double op retake, quote-unquote, that long route that you were saying all the way back through the backside of the apartments, that may have ended up giving the round to Envy, but they still got all the kills. Full rebuy.
Yeah, looking at Envy right now, their money's pretty set here, and that's just due to the round loss bonus adding up in their corner, so they end up picking up that round. Cloud9, their money is really broken. I do imagine they'll look to Automatic here to really start this round off, but that was a round that Cloud9 should not have lost. I do believe at one point it was a 5-on-3, Dallas. Really, Cajun B getting caught rotating over there as Nifty took the lane and pop flash for himself to peek into sight. Cajun B's repeat, he was at such a disadvantage that essentially he just goes down as soon as he attempts.
That one tap from Golden, though, all the way into pit.
It was wild.
One tap. Just gave him the boop all the way. And that one stung a bit. But right now, it does seem like even though Envy won that round, Cloud9 had the last statement on that. They were the one with the punctuation mark. And Envy rebuying into this round again are obviously right back to the bottom barrel. Cloud9, though, they were kind of in the same sense. They decided to hold on to what they've got, only having Automatic's op that was saved in the previous round to carry the burden of picking up these first entries, and hopefully the weapons that have dropped from Envy would be recoverable by Cloud9 at that point.
It does look like they're going to send Automatic towards Banana with that AWP firing off. Because he was flash, going to give away his positioning of that op now, and he's not going to rotate off. So Envy moving very quickly towards middle should find Rush here fairly easily, who's pushed up lane solo.
Well, we've seen a Molotov come to this position before. That's a Molotov that you'll stand up on top of the balcony in the apartments, bounce it off the skybox, and drop it right into Rush's lap. JDM fires off the shot, and Rush tries to pursue this, only seeing 3 terrorists that were sitting there waiting for him. They try and pull faster around and be able to pursue that target, but they're unable to catch it in time. Shouldn't have too much of a problem coming back into the site anyways. Unarmored, almost unarmed targets at that point. Golden last man standing with the Deeg. Hopefully a 1 Deeg. Make an effort out of this.
He's just going to grab this op of Automatic and hightail it out of dodge, and that's exactly what he does. Recovering the op now, he will fall back to B, and Envy now moving on to their 3rd round. A great little eco round out of them, not losing 1 person on their side.
Okay. Good healthy round as opposed to what we had seen earlier on as well from Cloud9. They were getting healthy rounds, but I mean, the tide comes in, the tide goes out. It's back and forth battle, and I expect nothing different. We did see earlier today there was like back and forth for what, 7 rounds? Or was that yesterday? That may have been late yesterday. And the days blend together. This one so far has gone back and forth for 4 rounds, but now Envy taking 2 in a row are going to stop that and start to gather their own momentum.
Okay, Cloud9, still no money to buy up here, Dallas, so maybe a little bit of pistol armor action coming, or are we going to see the guns being dropped and the buy coming in? Yeah, so a couple guns being dropped right now, Cajun B getting an M4 from his teammate. They will be buying up into this round. However, where do they go from here? Are they going to look for the banana aggression that so many teams do? And it's not a bad idea in doing so, pushing 3 people out B, but Cloud9 instead, they're only going to send 2 people towards the banana area. They're going to do a standard setup of 3-2 on their defense.
Yeah, and right now, Rush, who's just on the outside of Boiler, will drop a smoke. It's going to be actually right on time. JDM was trying to get there before the smoke blossomed. Didn't anticipate that he'd be right there. Now they double stack up in the apartments. Cajun B only got a glimpse of Fugly before Automatic is able to swing on him. Now Psalm's in the smoke. They are able to wrap up to Arch side, but how much use is this? Yeah, there's no bomb in hand, so you have to go back and recover this. It doesn't matter how much territory you manage to grab, and it looks like they're wise to it. Knowing that there's been a weakness in mid and on Arch side, Golden has gone back to CT to defend the B site from the rear flank.
Yeah, and right now, Envy not really pushing this issue right now. They've taken control. You see the player by Moto. Saw him getting dropped as he tries to bring the bomb towards his teammates. Now Cajun B taking down Nifty as Android finally trades out Rush. It is into a 1-on-3. Can Android make this happen for his team?
That's pretty smart from Android, at least on the surface, not to immediately go for that bomb. He starts to clear out a couple more angles. However, Cajun B is right behind him. Just came out of Boiler. They'll have the rear flank of Android and Cloud9 on a weaker buy. They had bought up an op, but it came all the way down in the pyramid style of having an op at the top, and then it was rifles and then some SMGs underneath that. So it ends up standing. Whatever building they managed to make with that kind of foundation was good enough.
So JDM forcing that really early on. Rush had no trouble whatsoever, and then Automatic getting that pick almost instantaneously towards the halls right after Rush gets his kill. It really throws Envy's whole game plan out the window, and they got to start pugging. They got to start looking for picks, and it just doesn't work out for them. Cloud9 now. Rush is aggressive down this middle, and look at this. He might actually be able to catch off Nifty here. Maybe even Fugly. He's going to do some damage. Able to take down Nifty. Going to keep going towards Banana. And now Sam has to watch his back as well.
Well, here's the thing. Rush doesn't have to worry about his rear flank because Automatic is guarding it from top mid. Now Rush is just remaining here. He's a thorn in the foot, in the sole of the shoe for Envy.
Great.
And he's able to escape.
Yeah, that was great. Automatic smoking off alternate middle, then pop flashing for Rush to get out of there, as it does look like Envy trying to pressure Halls, and Cajun B patiently waiting is going to find 2 on the round and easily turn this in Cloud9's favor.
Yeah, and a great nade that gave it Cajun B. He just dropped it up there. Now they spotted the bomb as well. It's actually out on that platform. So you got the majority of everybody from Cloud9 has responded and gotten into this position to assist. Oh, Psalm had a chance, a really good chance against Cajun B. But Cajun B, knowing that Fugly was still up there, spams it, ends up catching him through the smoke.
Exactly. Envy now using their second timeout of this game. Their money is absolutely shot. So Psalm buying up here now, spending that cash, is going to force Envy to most likely force buy behind it. But if they do force buy, it's only going to be pistols here, Dallas. Maybe some MAC-10s, maybe some SMGs, but really just an unnecessary buy in this situation, in my opinion.
For Envy?
Yeah, for Envy.
Okay. Yeah, Psalm's already purchased up. Everybody else doesn't have that kind of cash to afford. I mean, Psalm bought head armor. He bought the Galil. At this point, I'm almost feeling like that was a misbuy. Now, does that bait the rest of the team into buying as well? Is it all for one or one for all?
Well, generally, you wanna keep going with the same. Yeah, and it does seem like it was a misbuy. Unfortunately for the Envy side, now Psalm will be the sole member with that Galil.
Yep. Pretty obvious that was a misbuy at that point, and you've got now a problem in the future for Envy, unless they can manage to ride on the wings of a Galil to pick up a round win, but that's a stretch. Vice up front, JDM swings out. Of course, no armor, so he's a very squishy target that little typewriter will be able to punch out.
So I'm taking some nade damage here. He's pushed up on the other edge of this smoke. As Vice heads down, he's able to take him down as Golden now finding 2 of his own. And just like that, Nifty, the final member remaining on the Envy side, he too shall fall. Cloud9 picking up 8. And look at the money now. Everybody's ready to buy on the Envy side. But Psalm's like, hey guys,
yeah. Can I borrow
I'm
one
going to get
of
an AK and armor.
Yeah, no,
he goes for a MAC-10 to ensure the utility. So
sure, it's
that's
not
actually
bad.
No, that's actually a really smart choice because he realizes his team's going to have the firepower. He should back them up with the utility. So that's a great choice out of Psalm, not opting for that AK armor. He's going to go for the full utility and provide something to his team other than just, the aim.
And it's unlikely to win flawless rounds as well. We've seen it from both sides, but it's still, 1 in 10 rounds, that you end up coming out with 5 alive. Most of the time that happens against the eco rounds, but when it's rifle versus rifle, you can expect to have a casualty or 2, which is fine that you have a MAC-10, so you'll be able to swap those out and min-max your economy. Nifty being harassed there, knowing that the CTs are pushed down at least to tree. That's exactly where Golden remains. He's got some direct support by Automatic at the top end of Banana with the scope of the op. Golden can hear all this.
Yeah, he hears them jumping up around that middle area. I mean, Cloud9's playing a fairly passive setup in general, so Envy now, they're taking their time. They will find mid control fairly easily. And as we pass the minute mark on the clock, are they going to move quickly towards lane, or are they going to fall back towards Banana? And, yep, it looks like they're going to head right back to Automatic, as well as Golden.
Yep. JDM's still standing there with his op. Both ops are just holding their angles, and what a well-timed smoke from Automatic. But he, in dropping that smoke, is rotating back towards the A site, leaving Golden alone in the smoke.
He hears all this.
Yeah, he's waiting for somebody to bump into him so he can see them, with them not seeing himself through the smoke. He's on the backside. It'll spray down one, almost two. He almost had the keys to the castle at that
Nice
point.
shot.
Automatic falling back. He'll even drop a Molotov in response. There's a smoke there to hiss that out, but they do seem to be ahead of that curve. Automatic posted up at the new box. Strikes true against Som, and he's going to throw a flashbang. Seeing Fugly on the top of the oranges.
Ooh.
Tags him up well. Vice will finish the job on that, I believe, and they'll just end up wrapping back with the support from Vice getting there just in time before Automatic was going to be overwhelmed.
Yeah, that was a great little play from Golden there. Basically putting his body into that smoke, and then as soon as the execute comes in, he tries to wrap around. But I do believe a nade hit him and gave away the sound cue that somebody was really tight. Yeah, so that nade ends up hitting him. Yeah, and you can actually hear it on that. And then so when he goes through, that Envy already had that in their mind. They're able to respond to that very quickly, and he gets traded up. But still, it creates a problem that Envy has to deal with while already dealing with the fact that they need to get towards top Banana.
I mean, it was a pistol as well that took him down, I believe. So how close that was to just being a 5-man spray down had potential there. But Envy are back down to some pistols and armor. They'll be able to have enough for rifles in the next. But it has been pretty streaky to the favor of Cloud9. Pop flash for Envy to top mid. Automatic now. He even suspects that maybe somebody made it to Cubby in time, so he'll fall back a little bit closer to the site, a little bit closer to Cajun B and Rush, who have the automatic firepower to be able to support him. Now they've got even a backstab up here in the arch side, but the Moto Smoke's going to help. This might that kill is probably going to turn the bomb for a Wrap B strategy.
Vice now having to watch his back here. If he's not too careful, the players have already spread on him. He's going to get dinked, taken down now by Android, and the B side is open for business as the lurk comes out halls, and Nifty creating such a problem for these Cloud9 players.
Look at this. Now with Nifty getting that damage there, Nifty has made them think that going through arch side wouldn't be the best option, and Envy come rebounding right back towards A and leaving two of the players over on the Banana side of things.
This could pinch them now because they have to worry about their CT spawn as well as the A site. They've got all these players from the Envy side just pillared into the site. Less one.
Uh-oh. That Molly, though.
Android.
Of course, the
Great
one
shot.
rifle is so important, and a dink as well against Rush. Still 2v3. You still got a chance to be able to come back into this one for Cloud9, and they've cleared out the back pit. All your Ts are virtually on site, with one of them being over towards the Moto end. Som's been spotted at the backside of the default box, but not enough. What an eco round from Envy. Well, it was a little bit of force by pistol armor, but they were anticipating to have rifles in this round anyway. Instead, they have 3 of them gifted to them.
What a round out of Android there, picking up 4 kills, some great shooting from him, especially on that first player towards lane, who I believe was Cajun B. This is the kill that actually gets him the gun in his hands, but really that kill on Cajun B, who had all those Envy players pinned within the site, that's what allows his team now to kind of spread a little more, kind of open up and move around.
When they got that first kill on Arch, they recognized that that was one of the B-side players.
Yeah,
They're like, that wasn't your typical Arch side.
Which is weird
Arch
because,
side automatic.
I mean, they could have, I don't know, I just felt like they could have kept going towards B. Nonetheless, they still won the round. Nifty made a great call to tell them to come back, but I thought it would have been fine going to B as well.
I mean, they showed some, I think they showed some great intelligence. Just the fact that Nifty was there right behind them, and they knew that they were rotating out. Come right on back. Come right back through Arch, plant that bomb on the A site, and show that you got the big brains.
Okay, and up middle is Cloud9 now, or sorry, Envy. As we do see Cajun B positioned towards this cubby with Golden baiting for him. This could work out for the C9 side as JDM does take down Automatic. We are going to see Golden as well as Cajun B fall to Nifty, and A side is open for business.
You do have Rush that's in the pit right now, and he's hiding. Just going to bury his head in the sand and make sure that he's not noticeable, but he has been snuffed out. Fugly was the sacrificial lamb at that point, so it does seem like the bomb will be planted A, and there's not much that Vice can do against this. But a couple solid rounds from Envy on the back end of just pistol armor. Now their economy is so turned around at this point. I know it's very late in the half, but essentially it's been given enough of a gust to survive any kind of problems. But now we're going into the last round of the half, and it's 9-4, or it will be 9-5 in a second.
Yeah, Envy definitely bringing this one back towards the end of this first half, getting these rounds that are much needed at this point just to keep themselves competitive and in this game. Cloud9, however, kind of falling flat as we move towards the end of this half. That momentum seemingly is all gone.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to what we saw between MIBR and Luminosity on Train. We saw Luminosity come hot out of the gates, and then MIBR kind of closed out the half with a series of rounds that made it a competition. Pretty much the same story shaping up right now. It's almost could end up in the same scoreline. It's 9-5 and could be 9-6 as we take a peek at the Cloud9
They've got plenty
economy.
of money.
Yeah, they'll be able to buy up. Well, I'd say the
AWP on the field, M4s being exchanged.
Yeah,
this is a solid buy down.
You might only be missing a flash and maybe a molly here or there. That's no big deal.
And a couple of kits.
I appreciate the dualies up there for Vice as well. You never know when you need 30 more bullets.
Well, the issue that I'm having here is the fact that there's a real lack of kits on the Cloud9 side, and they've been taking time on their retakes.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an issue. If they don't speed up their retakes, if Envy does get the post-plant scenario going, then Cloud9, I'm not sure if they'll be able to close it out, but it doesn't even look like they're going to be looking at the post-plant as we're into a 4-on-3, and the round just began.
I think Android blinked. He was scoped in at top left mid, and then he unscoped, and I think that's when he blinked, and then when he looked back there, suddenly there was a CT there, and then he scoped back in and almost delayed on his shot. He's like, that's strange. Remember the old days on Source when you could spray the walls?
I never played Source.
You never did? You used to be able to you could upload even GIFs of sprays
of
like
you could do that
CTs
in 1.6. Yeah, you
could
could do that in 1.6 as well. Yeah.
Then
that became illegal in competitive play.
you
Can you
don't
imagine?
say.
Yeah, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Anyways, though, as we pass the minute mark on the clock, we do see Envy lurking Nifty into the end of halls once again. Remember on the round they had success? Nifty lurked out, created that huge distraction from the end of halls, while the remaining two members on the Envy side are going to be positioned outside B, patiently waiting.
Even splitting up your forces when you're outgunned like this and wounded at that. Rush, trying to get it boosted up top. He'll have Nifty dead to rights here in a second. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Silhouetted. Takes a second burst at him, and bad gets to worse. JDM and Psalm are over towards this B site, and Cloud9 having those two defenders on B, even with the kill over on A, they still stand fast. Vice above and behind him, and I don't think there's much chance for Psalm. He will not. Golden and Vice get those last two kills, and it ends up being a 10-5 half. A little bit behind par for the course for Envy, but I'd say they got a little bit of a chance to come back.
Golden with a great first half, 20 frags on him. That's exactly what you want from your IGL coming out. But overall, Cloud9 doing a great job here. I mean, they closed it out. They bookend that half. Envy, though, a little bit of life to make that actually happen for them. Is it going to be enough? Moving on to CT side Inferno, it's much easier. I'm interested to see.
Yeah, I think Golden Boy's our standout player of the game so far. Just in that half, he's 20-7. But we've got more action coming at you soon for the second half between Cloud9 and Team Envy. You're watching the Pro League.
Увеличить количество клиентов можно в несколько кликов. Скопируйте настройки контекстной рекламы с одной платформы на другую вместе с телепортом в Google рекламу. Настройтесь на новых клиентов. Телепорт в Google рекламу.
Почему раздеваются? Потому что тепло. Окна КБЕ. Потому что тепло.
Увеличить количество клиентов можно в несколько кликов. Скопируйте настройки контекстной рекламы с одной платформы на другую вместе с телепортом в Google рекламу. Настройтесь на новых клиентов. Телепорт в Google рекламу.
Well, that didn't take too long. Welcome back to the Pro League. We are into the first day of Group C. So far, we've watched the Brazilians play. Now we're watching the Americans play. Cloud9 versus Team Envy. Our first map, first half, resulted in a 10-5.
Let's put an asterisk on that because they're North Americans, okay? We got some Canadians in the lineup as well, all right?
This is the Americas groups.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. The Americas. JDM and SOM supporting one another right now, and they are laying down the law. The law is death, it seems, for Cloud9. Just Cajun B standing. 3 kills for JDM, 2 for SOM as they single-handedly just work hand in hand. Work on a topside defense.
Both teams looking towards Banana very quickly to start their pistol rounds off, and both teams not finding success on those B rushes. Envy absolutely smashing them.
They're pretty pleased with that defense right there. They made it look easy.
Why wouldn't you be? That was such a strong B hold, right?
And how satisfying is it, too, with your USP to just tap,
tappa,
and heads pop. Now we get something that's a little less finessed. We have Android on the auto shotgun. Not nearly as clean. It's much more messy.
But it nets you quite a bit of dollar value.
It does. It does.
All right.
See, he's up top on the balcony right now.
Ooh, so it's looking like
it's gonna happen,
yeah,
dude.
it's gonna be
oh
Farm City.
No, this is gonna
get back
come
up
on,
there.
Android,
Get back up there, Brad.
Oh, the grenade's just gonna soften him up for him. Oh, this is gonna be so pretty. Android underneath them right now, lurking like a monster. He'll be able to get the information from his team. Fugly steals the first and the second away from him. Come on, Fugly. It could have been
Android
beautiful. Still, though,
there.
all those SMG kills still makes a lot of money at the end of the day.
Yeah, plenty of cash going in the pockets of Envy in that round. Android not getting to use that auto shotgun. I'm sure he's a little bit sad about that one, but Cloud9 will have the AKs.
Yeah, I mean, a map like Nuke, you see the auto shotty a lot. Sometimes you see it on Train as well. We get to see these eco frags get cleaned up. It's pretty satisfying. But auto shotty on this map, there's only a handful of players I end up seeing it. Android is now joining the ranks of the likes of Poland, for example. I've seen him play that quite a bit on this map, typically over towards the boiler.
All right, and actually look like Envy going for an aggressive Banana. Automatic and Golden are going to chime in to team up for that kill onto Fugly. But right now in the man advantage, Cloud9 not pressuring B any further. They're going to let the round develop, looking at middle. JDM playing very tight towards that area. As the remaining members of Cloud9 have taken Hall's control, maybe even peering down towards Boiler momentarily. Oh, I think Rush just saw him.
Oh, yeah, definitely did. JDM being so close to that, can't quite peek that corner, but since they fired at him, now he knows that they're around in the neighborhood.
He's going to stay.
I mean, Envy has all these substandard guns. They need to be able to pick off a kill before they fall even further behind. A 5v4 is difficult as it is, but a 5v3 is even more so for Envy, as you've got still 2 defenders over towards this A site, but at this range,
how does he pick up that frag?
Yeah, anyways, you take what you can get. Nifty's even pushing back on the backside of B side and is able to pick up Vice as he was starting to retreat, so it's pretty obvious that it's going to be an A hit. Maybe we see the auto shotty come in. He spots Cajun B's dome just as the smoke blooms, but Nifty's left 1v3 with an AK. There's going to be guns in the next round anyways for Envy, so all you need to do here is successfully knock Cloud9's economy out of the park.
Yeah, if one person survives on the Cloud9 side, that's really just a massive impact on their economy, but it's not going to happen. KGB taking down Nifty there. And Cloud9, with a pretty standard default, being gifted these frags. They start the round off with the Molotovs towards car at Banana. They look back towards middle after taking the Hall's control together. And then in those moments, they're able to just trade out frags, really starting off towards the Arch side when they're able to take down JDM, who's peaking that with the MP9. So overall, a good little default out of Cloud9. A nice cohesiveness, way to stay together, way to trade out the frags, and they're going to have 11.
Still see the auto shotty being picked up. Android has spent every dime that he's ever had on this round, getting armor included. The only player with head armor, so that could be of use against the MAC-10 that's in there.
JDM now picking up the first kill of the round, giving the man advantage to his side as Cloud9 more the same for this default. Fugly will be taking down KGB towards Halls as well. And as we go into this 3-on-5, Rush trying to even it up for his team, and he's actually taking spawn control here. This is going to be an opportunity now for Cloud9 to win this round if they can remember the bomb.
Still, yeah, you got to go get the bomb, boys.
Get the goddamn bomb.
You got the
No!
site.
Now the bomb's protected.
They have it.
Oh.
Fugly and Android spot it. Oh, that's unfortunate. They smoked top mid, so they suspect that there might be somebody coming back, but this is going to come down to raw frags. I don't think this bomb's ever going to get planted at all. Vice and Rush split their approach back to the bomb. You have the rare instance where the T's are trying to take the bottom mid site.
Rush has the utility to actually help his teammate out in this situation. Fugly, oh, Rush is making that contact, but Fugly absolutely decimating him now. It will be on to Vice to make this round happen for his team. A round that Cloud9 should have actually won, but they didn't have the bomb.
No, they didn't. Good shot. I
okay.
mean, Vice could run to the A site right now. He knows Fugly's down there. It does come out down to straight frags, but Cloud9 settled in a little too confidently to the B site and forgot that they had responsibilities as terrorists to bring the device.
Just keep it somewhere where you guys can get to it easily, or just be ready to retrieve that.
Right, yeah. Instead it was left in bottom mid, not in the tunnel even. It's visibly seen from anybody that's at mid.
And I almost feel like they were 2 seconds off of being able to recover that cleanly, but because Envy decided, you know what, they're wrapping onto B, we're going to go down middle to retake the site, that's when they get gifted that bomb in front of them, and that's when they're able to clean up that round. So, I mean, just off the blunder, I'd say, of Cloud9 leaving the bomb there, Envy's going to get their 8th.
That was a freebie round from Envy. That one's what's more frustrating, losing an eco round or losing to your own mistakes?
I think leaving the bomb is more frustrating.
Yeah, I would say so as well.
Because look at it this way too. Imagine if they left the bomb in the actual T pit, right? Then Envy probably wouldn't have even seen it. They would have gone all the way up to Banana and tried to retake it, and then Cloud9 would have had the fight with them. But instead, Envy plays the passive approach, and Cloud9 has to go to them now to retake that.
That's right. So now Cloud9 are way behind at this point in firepower. You've got Automatic with armor AK, and then everybody else with pistols. I almost feel like we've seen this story before earlier when Som was the one that accidentally bought the Galil. But Automatic just actually had more than enough cash on this round. He's bought all this and has still enough cash, if not more, than the rest of the team, it seems. Quite a bit.
Okay, looking at this round, Automatic will be leading the charge towards middle right now, peering on in with that AK as this left side mid smoke comes in, allowing the Cloud9 team to just get that brackets control right off the bat. We passed the minute mark on the clock. We have 4 players playing over towards this A-bomb site, and Cloud9 is actually going to be heading over to B. The only thing is, we have Som jump spotting. So Som's going to jump spot. He's probably going to drop the smoke right in front of him, and then once that happens, the rotators should be coming in shortly. Most likely Nifty to come help him.
His timing, he hasn't spotted him yet. They're halfway up. Now he sees it's going to be a Molotov there. Automatic runs
that's big.
into it.
That's
they
huge.
Smoke it, and everybody's able to get right past it. It's a foot race to CT side. They have smoked off CT angle, though, so that's going to stump Nifty and company. They're going to boost
boosting.
one up and over. And it looks like they've gotten the first. Nifty swapped out for JDM's Life, who's just still outside of construction. Cloud9 have pushed into this region. Vice is hanging on to it as best as they can. Cloud9 are looking like they might actually do this with pistols and a single AK, because the pistols that remain are pretty lethal at range. That's the Deagle. Automatic behind the new box right now, having the AK, struggling with Fugly right now. He knows that he has to worry about his left flank, and he's getting support.
Oh,
excellent
my
one peek
goodness.
from Golden, and then Automatic comes out. After Fugly had been taken care of, Automatic knew that his construction side was super weak. He swings out and takes that kill immediately.
Yeah, that was a great round from Automatic. Really, first that kill on Som, who didn't, you were mentioning it, they haven't seen him yet. They haven't seen him yet. And that's exactly what bites Som. Som jumping there, he does get the Molotov down, but Automatic forces it and takes that kill onto him. Now, Cloud9 actually used their smoke to put out Som's Molotov and allow them to rush, and then get gifted another smoke that Som chose not to throw, right? Because he chose to throw the Molotov. So there was a little bit of a luck factor included in there, just based off Som's nade choices.
That's right, and they were just able to get so far up Banana without being spotted, and as soon as Som saw him, he realized it was too late to react. Automatic really was the one to take the initiative, stood in the fire, and redeemed the team from that, so they were able to take that round right back.
Looking at it now, Rush and Cajun B, we're back to the default, essentially. We see the Halls control coming out from Cloud9 early on. They're just taking their time, clearing out these very tight areas as a squad, and now imagining that they'll either go for that brackets control or give it up completely, as Vice and Automatic have made their way all the way into B, and Automatic's got the entry onto Nifty.
Yep, they do. There's still 3 players over towards the A site. They get both of these kills on B, you might see these guys start to back off. They're getting kills all over, everywhere, in A and B. A little bit of split push action, and they'll win it on kills. Nice 3-man take right there for Rush. They were, of course, weak targets up there, but still, nonetheless, picking up 3 kills is pretty, especially when they peek you one at a time and you're able to settle your own aim. Cloud9 now winning 2 rounds in a row and starting to set themselves up as they could see the sun starting to crest over the horizon with daylight at the end of the tunnel. 3 rounds away from taking the W.
That was a fairly easy round for them. And looking at Envy now, whose money hasn't even set up, Cloud9 are going to get closer to that victory. Envy now forced to go onto this full eco. Cloud9, the round is essentially theirs, lest Envy pull off something just astounding for Alta Rush. And a mid-rush is what Envy will be going for here. Golden taking down 1 as Cajun B, Automatic, they come in and Golden ends up with the 3K.
Yeah, Golden needed to pull that crosshair down a bit. Those are still counter-terrorists that are pretty far.
Oh, he ate
up
a flash.
Yeah, did he?
Yeah, he ate a flash.
I was seeing that his bullets were landing towards the top side of the roof. Yeah. I'm like, man, he's up there.
Watch, yeah, look at that flash. He's just going with it. Jesus, take my AK.
Take the AK, take the spray. And, I mean, right now, Golden and Automatic are at 24 kills, 11 and 10 deaths for them as well. So they are on top of things right now. And really, that's what's propelling Cloud9 into a pretty commanding lead, having 6-round lead. And really, Envy's last hurrah, I would say. Their next round's not going to be able to afford up a double op, even close to that. So Envy need to make a stand right here and right now. Not any real change to their default strat right now. Their A site is working on that 3-man position over towards the porch and boiler side of things. That's typical for, that's like a secondary default, and they shift that back into something a little bit more classic.
Looking at it right now, Rush, as well as Cajun B, once again have cleared halls. We see Cloud9 moving back towards middle. Most likely will take bracket control momentarily, where we do see the boost of Fugly on this porch. Nifty, a nice shot onto Vice there.
Yeah, I mean, Vice jumped into it. That was unfortunate timing for him. Fugly is up on top of the porch. We were talking about they had this trifecta. They still have it here. They've changed a bit. Did Rush just hit? No, he was supporting. It was Golden, the one that ended up dying there. I thought it was a jumping AK, but Rush at distance was the one that keep his feet solid on the ground to get that kill. Cajun B just lobs an HE into the site, and you've got a 3-on-3, but your CTs are scattered. It's all Fugly right now, and he's been wrapped on wide towards the moto. And you still now Nifty returning on a 2v2. It'd be wise from Nifty to just chill out and let Som come all the way around Banana, all the way around mid. And so you can at least attempt to trade here.
Yeah, and he's doing exactly that now. As Som does come up middle, this is an opportunity for the retake to take place here. Nifty firing off a shot will give away the location of the op.
Here's the thing. They see that Automatic's in sight, and if Som is to wrap into sight, he's going to get clotheslined by your player that's up in the graveyard. Exactly that. So knowing that there's a player in sight ends up baiting Envy into this take, and Nifty Nifty with an op having difficulty swinging that left to right, ends up getting taken down as well in a pinch that he walked into. So 15-8, and I was talking about the economy for Envy. They are into the max loss bonus, but it's not going to be good enough. I already see SMGs being picked up.
Yeah, and for those of you guys just tuning in at home, maybe you guys want to know the map picks. Envy actually picked Inferno, Cloud9 picked Mirage, and Cash is our leftover map. So Envy on this map pick, finding themselves on the brink of a map loss right now. I'm sure they're not going to be happy about that, but Cloud9 winning that round off a bold decision to push the lane smoke and actually force their way into the site. Really bold decision by Rush, but it ends up paying off for his squad.
Well, the Molly's extinguish in Banana right now, and Psalm will back off. You know, we were talking about being a little bit shortchanged with weapons. I said SMGs were getting picked up, and then 2 shotguns were on top of that. So Envy have absolutely no recourse for long-range fights. You're going to see them positioning themselves at point-blank dirty fights. Pop flash into top mid. Fugly's able to turn around. They're trying to work a little bit of a crossfire. Shotgun. Nice shot at range. Sometimes the Mag 7's just good like that. There was only a little bit of Cajun B's head showing up, but he caught all the buckshot.
After getting that pick now, they're going to keep moving towards Banana. And actually, Automatic wrapping onto the site. This is a great little play. It doesn't really matter, though, as Nifty does fall. We will hear the call being made by Rush. At least 2 players have pushed middle. Cloud9 right now will take advantage of that and get Automatic into CT spawn, which will mean he's going to make the call, hey, they all got to be coming B. I haven't seen anybody around me.
Right. Well, Golden is out on a limb right now. Here's a pop flash. Well played, but it is traded out. And, of course, Envy were able to pick up some of the rifles that were scattered about. It's going to end up in a 2v2. But you got no kits. You need to get into the site. You need to touch that bomb and force Cloud9 into some positions and into some fights that they don't want to take. They still haven't gotten to that bomb yet. And with no kit, I don't see any recourse at this point. Automatic is miles away. He's got an easy one as he taps down Fugly. Eventually, Android pops out. He's able to pick up a kill, but the scoreline will conclude on map 1. 16-8.
Automatic 3 kills short of a 30 bomb here on our first map series. Golden right behind him with 25 frags. Automatic finishes up with 27. A great first map out of them in efforts to really go for the sweep. It does look like they're going for as we move on to their map pick of Mirage.
That's right, and to expand on that, Automatic only had 10 deaths. And this was a relatively short map. You only gave your opponents 8 rounds. And those 30 bombs sometimes end up only acquired when you end up with long fights.
Exactly.
But ladies and gents, map 1 concludes. We're going to be heading into map 2 shortly between Cloud9 and Envy. You're watching the Pro League.
One more time. Are you ready? Let's get it on!
Think you can't clutch through a smoke while recording in full resolution and streaming the play to the world? Watch this. Counter-terrorists win. Think you can't get famous in a flash? Like become your own meme famous? Watch this. Think he's been there, done that? With Intel Core i7, he's just getting started. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Bon spectacle.
This is game fuel. 16 ounces of pure annihilation. Tastes like berry-flavored wind sauce.
New Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Увеличить количество клиентов можно в несколько кликов. Скопируйте настройки контекстной рекламы с одной платформы на другую вместе с телепортом в Google рекламу. Настройтесь на новых клиентов. Телепорт в Google рекламу. Увеличить количество клиентов можно в несколько кликов. Скопируйте настройки контекстной рекламы с одной платформы на другую вместе с телепортом в Google рекламу. Настройтесь на новых клиентов. Телепорт в Google рекламу. Увеличить количество клиентов можно в несколько кликов. Скопируйте настройки контекстной рекламы с одной платформы на другую вместе с телепортом в Google рекламу. Настройтесь на новых клиентов. Телепорт в Google рекламу. Увеличить количество клиентов можно в несколько кликов. Скопируйте настройки контекстной рекламы с одной платформы на другую вместе с телепортом в Google рекламу. Настройтесь на новых клиентов. Телепорт в Google рекламу.
Почему не устала? Потому что мыть легко. Окна КБЕ. Потому что мыть легко.
Intel, Oxitani,
cheese and rice,
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, and Pay Safe Card.
And on the back of a 10-5 performance from Cloud9, it is Automatic and Golden that have actually brought this one full circle, as well as the other missing parts of this pizza, which were Jason and I. Jason, are you okay there, man?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I was just thinking of something funny. Don't worry about it.
Oh, please do share.
No, we're all good.
Absolutely nothing that we're laughing here on the detriment of Envy. absolutely, I guess coming out of the gate, they had something, but overall, it was Cloud9 dictating the pace early on in this game.
Yeah, I didn't think it was too bad from Envy. I think the one big part that I noticed they really seemed kind of lost is when like Plan A didn't work. They had like a real trouble like improvising on the fly, which is fair for a team like this that's going to have leadership question that is still relatively young in terms of the lifespan. Outside of that, Automatic had a great game, a fantastic game. He was dominant for Cloud9 as we see him normally be. He's been incredibly consistent this year. Golden had a great game, 25 and 13, 112 ADR. That very much shocked and surprised me, but fair play, good performance from him. And that was just a nice T-side from Cloud9. You could tell they were just much better drilled.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely had that feel to it as well, which is one thing I think we were both kind of nervous about. Let's see what happens. Let's see what these guys do when they get in the server. Can they show some life here? Can they really be dominant? What are we going to expect? Because, again, we had nothing to come off of, or I guess, talking about full circle in terms of information when it came to both of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, Envy's played a decent amount of games. I haven't been able to catch any of them as we've been busy at some different events, but, you know, it feels like they should have a little bit more cohesion, but you also have to remember, like we mentioned in the pregame, they're putting a lot of faith in Psalm to grow into like a really, really good player. And I noticed on the CT side for Envy, they had him over at that B bomb site a couple times, and it was just funny just watching, you know, a younger player have that kind of role of being a solo B defender, because one round he gets caught, Automatic peeks him in the flames of a Molotov, and he wasn't expecting, gets wiped out and loses the bomb site and loses the round. And then the next round or 2 rounds later, he's got the AWP and he just does a spectacular shot over someone jumping over the half wall to get them an early pick. So some mistakes were being made, but you know, it happens.
Yeah, it definitely happens, especially given the parameters of this lineup. There's a guy that can give us all the insight we need to know. It's going to be Michael Golden. Michael, sorry, I didn't want to butcher the last name. Are you there with us, Golden?
Yeah, I'm here.
Man, first and foremost, congratulations on you guys showing out in a big way today here against in your opener against Envious.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was I don't say congratulations yes.
Not just yet. It's almost that time.
Yeah.
A lot of questions about this lineup. A lot of questions about a C9 in general, and I think it's been quite the roller coaster for you individually. Can you tell us a little bit about how it's going in the camp?
Yeah, I just got back, and the team's like, we're reforming the team, so trying to find our stable roster in like 2 years for them and 1 year for me. So. Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to find our groove, I would say, right now.
How is it, I'm always interested, how is it, I mean, we always have the conversation about language barrier, but you have to in-game lead in a second language. How's that been, trying to adjust to that, calling it English?
It's not as fast as I would like it to be, but it's still very manageable. I mean, it's optimal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had you have a couple, I mean, between you and Flusha, who have kind of in-game led, you know, previously, there's completely different styles that you guys bring to the table. At least what I've read in some interviews with some of the players. Can you just talk about a little bit like what you prioritize when you're calling strategies or when you want to lead a team?
I'll say
just a little bit about your philosophy behind it.
Yeah, I'll say more about the details, and when Robin is more like open and a bit slower, but I'm more, I would say it. I don't know, it's like an in between.
Like a little looser.
Yeah, a little looser, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, which is an interesting take, right? Because obviously in the building blocks of this Cloud9 right now, you guys are still trying to figure out your rhythm, I'm assuming. And how close do you think you are to finding that?
We will go to boot camp in Copenhagen in like 10 days. So at that time, hopefully, we will like sit down and find the place that we want to play.
Did you guys expect, I mean, you went into Miami and that was kind of a rough event for you guys, losing 5 maps, but I mean, did you guys kind of expect it to be a little bit on the rougher side, or were you a little bit surprised based off how things have been going in practice leading up to the event?
No, we were like, I think we did better than we expected to do in Miami, because they were close games. The score like doesn't show the real story.
Right.
Which happens from time to time in this lovely game of Counter-Strike. Hey, man, I know we have Mirage coming up. I know that that's one where you guys might just run all over the place. But can you give me some insight here as to this Team Envy lineup and maybe what you're thinking about them outside, maybe just a game and the server, both combined?
I mean, they're a similar state as us. I would say they have some young players, 16-year-old that is very hyped right now.
Oh, we can hear him. Trust me.
Those 16-year-olds can headshot. Be careful.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing much to say about him.
Okay, just wanted to see what I could get out of you. Not a big deal. We're gonna wish you good luck as we head into Mirage, Golden.
Good luck,
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and I mean he knows it. The whole world knows it. Cloud9 just trying to get those building blocks in a way that they can stand on.
That's got to be the main focus for the first half of this year for them, and I am interested to see, and maybe a little bit skeptical at this point of if this is going to be a roster that sticks together for long term, because you'd hope they'd figure that out. I'm always just very wary. I've mentioned this a couple times. Europeans don't tend to stick around when they join North American teams. Yeah, the only European that we've had that stick around, well, two. One is Def and Complexity, and there's not really much of a scene in the UK to go back to. And then also you have Cirque, who's stayed over and stuck with NRG with their successes. European players don't tend to stick around, and that was my big concern when Flusha and Kiyoshima were in this roster. Is like I feel like within a certain amount of time, those guys are going to be gone back to Europe. So if you're going to bring in Golden and Cajun B, I'm hoping that they figured something out and said this is going to be set for at least X number of months, and hopefully even longer than that.
Kind of putting realistic expectations or some expectations, and maybe kind of crossing that with the calendar and saying, hey, if this isn't working by this time, we've given it a fair shot.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't even know if I want that. I just really want this Cloud9. This is starting to get into like the area with Cloud9 where last year it felt mismanaged, and understandably so, and now it just feels like this has been going on way too long, and we've seen so many teams just kind of peter out and just like kind of bleed away and lose focus, just not having the rosters. You think of that old Optic lineup that had so much promise, just not able to find a fifth forever. And there's only so long you can function like that. And I don't know how Russian Automatic have been doing it for so long, but this has to become stable soon.
Sort of kind of just holding on.
Yeah, just
I got you, bro. I got you.
It's insane that this is still happening to a team like Cloud9.
And Jason, I know that we kind of give Cloud9 that big picture is what we're talking about right now. But now jumping into a map against Envy on Mirage, their pick, is there a worse recipe for Envy right now?
No, I still think the same thing, even despite seeing that first map, the same thing holds true. This Envy team can surprise and have an upset on a map. They have the skill, they have the ability. It's going to take some individual efforts, it's going to take some individual plays, but I'm not going to go against Cloud9, but it's certainly in the realm of possibility that Envy steals one.
Yeah, you wouldn't dare go against Cloud9. That's what I
Not
thought.
even thinking of it.
Well, what I'm thinking of is we get out of here. We're going to hand it over to the commentators one more time as we head into Mirage between Cloud and Team Envy. And that time is now. Take it away, fellas.
Thanks, Stunna. We are here, me, Topical, and you, Evan. We are into map 2, Cloud9 Envy. Cloud9 having the one map advantage so far, and they're going into home turf.
Yeah, and actually, Envy, I'm not counting them out on this map. It is a map of Mirage, which is a puggy NA map. Players are very comfortable on Mirage, but Golden right now making them a little bit more uncomfortable as he's going to take down Som and rush on to JDM here, and all the Cloud9 players chiming in with kills of their own.
So far, so good. Cajun B needs to get one for himself. Rush has been fallen in sight as well, leaving
Look at
Nifty
the bomb.
all alone, man. And yeah, that bomb is right at the base of the stairs. That's definitely within vision
ace?
of Cajun and Vice. Yeah, if Cajun were to get the kill, it is a team ace. Vice spotted the target. Cajun now in sight and on, or tracking. If you're a Star Wars fan, Nifty now picks up a USB, much better at the range. Cajun B looking for the kill, but wisely backing off. I mean, he has to get closer, and yes, it is a team ace. Congratulations, Cloud9. We saw that the first pistol round in Inferno, where it was just the two players that stood at the top of Banana and just popped heads. That was pretty. And now we get something else special as well.
Yeah, Envy looking for that connector split coming through the smoke, and actually Golden's going to start that off with the first kill of the round. Really, all of Cloud9 in a great position there to pick up frags individually. I feel like there could have been some more frags coming out from individual players that they could have picked up, but nonetheless, a team ace is better than nothing. Cloud9 to pick up their first round.
Yep, and Envy, again, don't go for the pistol armor in the second round. Instead, they're going to play Rush A, and they are just getting chewed up by some high explosive grenades. Golden has one underneath him, so it's going to be one kill that goes the way of Envy so far. Some upgrades to the P250 that he was able to pick off of Golden's hands, but Golden just got 3 kills on no investment for himself, so he is ready to invest in something with a little bit more firepower.
Just looking at this round now as Envy buys up those AKs, Golden is going to be getting his M4, or AUG,
okay.
Obviously. He's going to get a little bit less utility, though, not having the kit either. Automatic, he's got that AWP. Envy, nobody on their side actually able to come out with it because of the fact that they weren't able to get the bomb down during those few rounds. And let's see how they're going to approach it with a very fast A, or at least drifting into it.
So the last time we saw this for Cloud9, didn't they dip directly into the double op setup? They went immediately into it on their CT side.
Yeah, the first chance they got to buy it up.
And they actually don't do it this time. I think if Golden were to get an op, I'm pretty sure that would have been, I didn't look at the money, and I can't do the math that quick depending on if he's throwing grenades or not, but I think it would have been a glass cannon. Regardless, he would have had no utility to go with it. So Cloud9 instead only invest in automatics op, and he is currently in mid right now at the catwalk position watching top.
Yeah, very interesting round out of Envy. Early sending all their players towards a ramp, now backing it up, bringing them back towards middle, as I do imagine they will be bursting out, peering on in, just poking, prodding, trying to find the first kill of the round. Remember, we're passing the minute mark now, and they still don't have mid control.
Got to get a flash in here first. Automatic, ducks left, unaffected by it. Peels off the first player as well, and recognizes that Nifty's down below, so just drops a grenade right in his lap.
Catch it.
And now, is that enough for the rest of the team on A site to do well, because Automatic's fallen off towards B? Envy look like they ran out of gas, actually. They're going to back off of mid. After losing a body or two, they'll just leave one there, and that's just Nifty. He's the one that came from underpass. Will be left here alone. With 30 seconds on the clock, Envy have to get a move on for the execute with one smoke.
Yeah, one smoke. They have a couple Molotovs. However, 20 seconds is on the clock. A nice nade from Rush here is going to do even more damage to the MV players as they come out. We do see Golden from that ticket booth. He's going to push out the triple, maybe able to find one here, but it will be Rush, by the looks of it, to actually strike.
Nice shooting. Everybody's popping off.
There you go.
Unfortunately, Cajun B dies right at the trail end of that round. Golden had a bead on him and just couldn't quite get it done. I think he had an SMG, or there was an SMG firing at him. Lots of crosshairs were crossed on that site. Envy just ran out of time. They lost that first fight in mid. They'd thrown that flash at top mid, and I'm really surprised it had no effect on automatic.
Yeah, the way they threw that flash, actually, they didn't throw it so it would land above or high. They threw it and it actually went down. So it actually landed just under that cat ledge on automatic. That's why it only briefly flashed him. If they threw it a little bit higher, he would have been caught completely by that flash and would have had to pull off.
Yep.
But overall, that round seemed like Envy just calling, audibles left, right, and center. And right here, we're actually going to see them moving very quickly into B, where Cajun B gets blind and he gets taken down.
Cajun B stopped shooting when he was blind at that point. That was unfortunate. The AUG is going to be picked up by Som, the solo player with armor on Envy's side right now. JDM, though, has dropped the bomb over towards the bench, and Vice is going to appreciate that the smoke is here so that he can at least stand fast. Good kills coming in, though, for Envy. 2 so far with a potential of a couple more. Nifty's coming across catwalk right now. Nobody's watching this angle. Automatic barely alive, especially with 50 cals floating past him at 20-some HP. Does survive. Now Nifty's position's known. Great shot from Nifty. He's got 2 looking for the third. Almost pulls off a quick 1v3 clutch. Deagle headshots. But Cloud9 are able to stave it off. Good round from Envy nonetheless.
Yeah, very scary round for Cloud9 as Nifty hitting some great shots as he moves up towards the catwalk. Remember, his position was given away as well there. So that was a very possible round for the Envy side. Here are those Deagles again, taking down the second, not able to take down Vice, as Vice really saving that round for the CT side. Cloud9 now, they've got the 4 AUGs on their backs. They've got the AWP on automatic. JDM has his op, and he looks very quickly towards a ramp to find 2.
Yeah, JDM just runs out. He's got 3 now. He's got utility flying past him as well as the rest of the team is forced to catch up. JDM is moving quick.
Now smokes, Molotovs blocking off connector. Bomb should be going down momentarily. A great round out of the Envy side. Android still lurking towards B tunnels, cutting off that entire exit area for the C9 team here. Will allow Envy the opportunity to take even more guns out of the battle.
We can't get
Android hears this.
Yeah. Well, it's like we can't get good executes on A. We can't get good executes on B. What do you want to do? Well, let's just rush A. Just sprint it out with an op up front. Such a high-risk play. There will be no weapons saved by Cloud9. They will have some money coming their way, obviously, with the loss, so they should be able to buy up this one, though Cajun B and Golden are a bit on the lighter side of things.
Here are those shots from JDM here. Lovely, just running out that A ramp, beating the Molotov. Yeah, getting this 3rd kill, just cementing the round in Envy's Envy's favor literally as soon as he gets out that A ramp.
Yeah, it's like the strat involved probably the most basic brain function. Let's throw a flash over top of A main and
just kill. Just kill.
Just go in there. Oh, automatic. He tried to go for that jump over, but instead he ends up catching the smoke that was coming his way. That does block and allow
which is huge.
The window to be good, but he wasn't able to get onto catwalk scaffolding, which is what his intent was.
Okay, and Envy now. They've taken mid-control very quickly in the round. This is great out of them. JDM now making his move on Cat, peering off into this A bomb site. Possible to catch one of these Cloud9 players off. Doesn't look like it's going to happen here. Automatic really is the only kill that JDM might find if he comes up this connector. And he's going to do exactly that.
How quick are you, JDM, this time? When he comes up through connector right there, he's going to end up on far many more angles. But he still wins that fight. Stays low in connector, pops off the shot. That's an op for op. Automatic is down. A site's looking pretty tasty, though. Rush is able to pick up that next kill, and Cajun B is posted up with a deagle right at the top of connector. Som doesn't see it, ends up catching him right in the temple, and a fresh smoke there. They've window boosted into the backside of this one as Cajun B tries to reach for that AK out in the open, though you still have a surprise. AUG underneath Palace, and it seems like Nifty caught wind of that one. Did damage through the floorboards, but they've been able to escape from this position. Nifty gets a gift, though, and it's going to be a transfer over, almost connecting to it as well as Android alone. 1v2, able to pick off the first. He's got 30 seconds. He has to go back out through connector, get to the bomb, or just take the fight straight up. And Vice wins it at a distance with none other than an MP9.
I really like that out of Golden there. He pushes towards A ramp, clears that area out. Rush, who is under the balcony now, you realize that Envy coming out of halls, coming up connector, what's the first spot they're going to check? Under balcony. So he has Golden now make that contact. Nifty actually spams Rush a little bit under that balcony, and Fugly coming up the connector is getting ready to look exactly where Rush is, but Golden here actually popping out, taking down Fugly is what allows Rush to really stay alive for an extended period of time.
Yeah, that helped out that round entirely. You're down to a couple moments at that last part when it ends up being a 2v2. Whoever picks up that next kill really has such a high favor to win the round in total. So a 5-1. Envy were only able to get at one little respite as they picked up one round in the 6th. Or no, sorry, in the 5th. And now we head into the top of the 7th. Full weapons for Cloud9. They have 2 SMGs included, but that utility is going to help out immensely. Envy were able to full buy themselves as well. Full kits of utility, everything. Utility belts are bolstered. So now Envy look to at least have early presence up towards the apartment side of things, and they settle down. Though, I mean, you can have a lot of early pressure up here towards the apartments with no indication that you're ever going to go to the B site, because the B site's so much more difficult to get to, especially without mid control. That Cloud9 have, in all honesty, just been dominating.
Yeah, Envy, we saw them taking mid-control in the past few rounds, but really off of that, not finding too much success. Cloud9 doing a great job stopping them as they really try to push past the mid area, going up catwalk, going up connector, and that's where Cloud9 really wants to contest. They're okay with giving away mid-control for the most part right now, and looking at the Envy side, well, they're going to keep taking that mid-control, and Golden, I love that confidence, just spraying down Som towards that lower B. Envy's going to be down a man very early here.
Fugly goes back for the bomb, and you have one player in A main that is starting to fall back. Everybody is so far in a retreat right now from Envy to collect towards B. Utilities to speak of is 2 Molotovs and a single smoke. This will be a difficult one. Where do you prioritize that utility? I'd like to see that smoke land probably on the right side of the bench to be able to block off that jail part, but your defenders are actually ahead of those positions. Vice is just up in front of the arches. Cajun B is on platform.
He just re-smoked it as well now, so the pop flash through the smoke, Cajun B able to find one at least here, and it's on to Vice to really defend this site.
Yeah, here comes some help too. Vice is able to get the first. That's going to be the bomb on the ground. One left. Only Nifty in 10 seconds. As that shot, in all honesty, I think went through Nifty's legs. He taps the bomb once, and Golden will swing around on catwalk. That was Nifty just trying to get the last 2 frags before the round concluded. He had time to plant that, but it wouldn't have gotten it off anyways. He needed the frags right out of the gates.
Yeah, it's some great nade usage out of Cloud9. As you see, Cajun re-smoke that B tunnel just before the execute. Here we do see Nifty with a nice little attempt, but time being against him. There's too much for him to check, too much for him to worry about. He ends up getting shot in his side, and Cloud9 move on to their 6th. But look at their economy here. Envy in a good spot to break this money and get Cloud9 onto an equal, allowing Envy now to roll back into this game. And a fast Halls burst as Automatic finds Android.
Well, we've seen this before. Last time he was through A main. This time they get a little bit of double presence. Saw him above the ladder, a little awkward. It's very hard to shoot straight up and straight down in this game, but it is all Cloud9. JDM has the bomb. He's going to try and double back towards the B site quickly, hoping that there was enough bodies expended that the anchor would have been pulled off. But in fact, Vice still stands at the B site. Even though this round's been incredibly boring for him, he is likely going to end up with this last frag. JDM to the site, plants for the default, and gets absolutely wiped down. 7-1. Great start for Cloud9.
Yeah, JDM unfortunately not being able to get that bomb plant, even as Vice wisely just staying by that banana or that B site. And here we see Rush picking up 1. He's actually going to find Som above him. Switch to the AK now, and this is the shot that was great. Absolutely taking down Fugly. 7-1 is our scoreline. Envy using their 2nd time out of the game here just to discuss what is going on internally. How do they want to stop Cloud9 setups?
I mean, they just tried that last round to replicate what did work for them in the 5th. And they had it with less of firepower. So the last time it worked, it was JDM just running into the site with an op through A main and a flashbang that went over his head. And it worked wonders. It really did. Cloud9 were instantly thinking about saving, and that round happened so quickly, Envy were able to go back out and hunt and finish those kills. But since then, Cloud9 have been able to put up 3 rounds in a row. Their money's not wildly out of control, but it is starting to shape up much better, especially with Envy now on a little bit of a bye. They've got Deagles, they've got Scouts, and now Rush is pushing into top mid. He could be vulnerable. He doesn't have any direct support, but there is a pop flash there, but the pop flash didn't quite have enough juice on it, so it could have been a little bit dangerous.
Cajun now taking down Android as well as Nifty towards lower. Rush dropping Som. It's all onto Fugly, and he too shall fall as Golden takes him down. 8-1, a fairly simple round coming out from the Cloud9 side. They do lose 1 person, but the majority stay alive. The majority start building up money. And as we move to the latter part of this first half, that's exactly what you want if you're Cloud9. You don't want Envy to put you in this position.
This is great from Cajun actually, because it supports Rush right there. He doesn't have to worry about his backside. And Envy at the same time is thinking, we can get Rush if we come out through connector quickly right now. We can catch him right now aiming and fighting our players that are at top mid. But Cajun saves the day. Still some mid presence, and JDM is not going to see any of it. Looks like they were able to escape into connector in time. Android's looking to see if instead somebody went through the underpass. So Envy are a little bit worrisome that this is still an aggressive move from Cloud9 when it actually isn't.
Golden with a nice nade towards mid that actually catches Nifty for quite a bit of damage now. Nifty and Som already down to that 50 HP and lower mark in this round as we pass the minute 20 mark on the clock. Envy, who have taken mid control, find themselves in a little bit of a lull as they haven't really progressed to any certain part of the map, just kind of holding up and looking for any picks that Cloud9 might give them.
I mean, initially I thought Cloud9 was dominating mid, but you're right, you explained it really well. Cloud9 is actually playing a lack of mid, and Envy are walking into it, seeing that it's open for the most part. There's a round here and there where Cloud9 will give some resistance to mid, but really Cloud9 have been reacting just to their basic sites incredibly well, able to rotate fast. Asian B right now spraying down 2, looking for the 3rd as well. They just line up. He even had some direct support back there in Vice that was just going to be the cross to the top of the T. And then back in T-spawn, the round virtually ends at this point. Cajun B gets that last one for a beautiful 4-piece. 3-piece coming right out in front of him, in front of the ladder room.
Yeah, it was very interesting from Envy there. They're moving up the catwalk, they're looking for the dry peaks, but they're not really too concerned about ladder in that situation. There's where Cajun B strikes, picks up an easy 2K, or 3K. I do believe the first guy coming out as well had his back to him. So in that situation right here, as he gets the 3rd kill, he even has a teammate in Vice who is set up on catwalk with him. So Cloud9, a very strong hold reinforcing that catwalk, and they're going to get their 9th round easily.
That just kind of extrapolates on what I was saying. Cloud9 will give you mid, but they will punish you as soon as you decide to turn left or right.
Exactly.
If you turn into connector, you're taking damage. You're turning right into catwalk, you're taking damage. Simple A strike right now. Rush's grenade and Molotov are a bit late. So is Golden trying to put his rifle back on him. So this fast play from Envy has caught some success in previous rounds and in this one right now. What a flick from Automatic. He had a follow through on that shot against Som. JDM is last up. He's stolen himself an M4 and able to do some damage here, but he is now in a problem because the bomb has actually been dropped all the way past Ticket Booth. So it is deep in the control of Vice and Automatic.
Yeah, JDM doing some massive damage to Vice now. That's going to create a lot of space between him and Automatic. No trade potential anymore as Automatic has to be solo, Vice not being able to repeak. JDM clearing out this window area, giving himself a little bit more room to work with. Where is he going to go from here, however?
Well, nobody's watching the C.
Oh, he sees Automatic. Automatic still able to capitalize on the kill, though. Lovely 3K out of him. And Envy now find themselves down 10-1, Dallas.
I was really thinking he was going to go back through CT, but he ends up getting caught in transition right there at jungle. Look at this follow-through from Automatic. He literally followed through on that shot.
Nice little flick.
That's nutty. I love that we get to see that one again. But a 10-1 is where we're shaping up right now, and it is a dark day for Envy if they were to drop this series 2-0. But I would say this is probably, in all honesty, this is the toughest match in the group stage for Envy. I think it would be a little bit easier road after today.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, they still got to go up against MIBR. Still got to go up against Luminosity, who absolutely decimated MIBR today. So
yeah.
I don't know about it being the easiest or the hardest match in the group, but it definitely won't be getting so much easier for Envy going forward.
It's going to be a hard road regardless. Not very well paved. There's a couple potholes in there. But right now, they've got a long road ahead of them if they want to be able to come back into this game. There's not even much shaping up for what would be even a second half at all if it were to continue at this rate. Fast mid play right now. Automatic is pushed off. He can't see catwalk. He has communicated that he has lost at least some information up there, and it's going to be an execute into the B side quickly. Automatic does get that first one. Now they wrap around towards the other side of the arch. We haven't even seen Vice show up on this site. He still remains. He has been overwhelmed quickly, though. Occasion B tries to carry the baton. He falls. It's going to be a 2v2 right now. We've seen a handful of 2v2s or 3v3s. They've, of course, all gone Cloud9's way, but will they try again?
Now Rush flanking up through these B halls. JDM hasn't turned to watch it. He should be starting momentarily as it's taking quite a while. Yeah, JDM just peering on towards those T side of apartments, but if Rush can strike, he's going to catch him, and that timing just works out in his favor perfectly.
Android has to be an absolute monster right here. Has Rush, misses the second salvo, but does correct. Golden now swinging around the corner. Has he not spotted him?
Oh no, Android played that perfectly, but he heard the sound cue. Android with a great shot to close it out on Golden. A 4K for Android, and Envy get their second.
Yeah, there may have been a little bit of a miscommunication there because it seemed like Golden, who had come across and was like, okay, I'm thinking that he's behind this front left pillar, and then there was a call that, no, that was the other side, and then he immediately swung back to the right. But that was a good clutch from Android, 1v2 to double the amount of rounds that Envy have so far. And we've seen it. We've seen this quite a bit where teams will have a really slow time to wake up. But when they wake up, they're able to string quite a few rounds together. And hopefully that happens right here and right now. Golden takes the first, but he is put down by Som. And now Occasion B, who's had a lot of success over there in the ladder, is remaining at that point. He starts to fall back towards the arches, though.
That's a big kill from Vice, taking control of those B tunnels effectively right now. He is going to drop a smoke and fall back, but that still creates a little bit of trouble for Envy now, who have to worry about the CTs having full control of B apartments. In response, they move JDM up towards this connector. Who's watching it right now? It's Rush just slowly, methodically peering on in. Just, can he get the timing right?
Right now, he doesn't seem to... Oh, he does challenge this. Rush Swings out, gets caught by JDM, and I believe on the other side, Vice was peeking on Catwalk where JDM legged him as well. 3v3, but all hands are starting to come back around, though the rotation has been stumped. Psalm catches Vice through the rat hole. Now Automatic towards the site, up to the bench. That's a very tall terrorist as far as Automatic is concerned. Now Cajun B needs to be able to pick up a 1v3. It's still got a little bit of room till the end of the half, but the money has actually been shot for Cloud9. So you might end up with a save right here to fall back, but he knows that that hole towards CT at that vent is dangerous. He's lost a teammate over there. He'll challenge Nifty for a bit, but this is going to be a really, really difficult retake.
Oh, that
Shoulders
Molotov timing.
Yeah.
Cajun B throwing and it doesn't spread right away, so he's like, okay, that Molotov didn't hit him. I'm going to pull out a flashbang and go for him, and Nifty times it perfectly and catches off Cajun B.
Okay, and there it is. It takes a while for some teams to wake up, but right now Envy are at least starting to put up some rounds. And the fact that they've broken Cloud9's economy after what was 6 rounds in a row, and in all honesty, 10 rounds out of the first 11 that were played out have been quickly depleted on the bank account. So Envy should be able to pick up this one with no problem and start to slide in maybe to a 5-round half. Maybe.
JDM getting right to the end of B apartments here. He's not going to make any contact as the Cloud9 players playing one towards the lower B, who's Rush. Golden now rotating over towards what I do believe will be flashing off middle now for Rush and spotting nothing whatsoever as Envy was hiding behind those mid boxes. And we do see Golden rotating over to the B bomb site.
Yeah, and the bomb is going backwards at the apartments. Maybe they're just setting up for some smokes on this side. Golden not even going for the jump peek. JDM is lining that up.
Yeah, I think he actually spotted JDM up there.
Did he really?
Yeah, just through the crack of that window.
Sharp eyes, but look at the rotation. You started off with an A stack, is now ending up with a B stack, and Golden has taken down JDM.
Look at the T-spawn flank.
Is down. Yeah, and Automatic's going to hear this, and you might see that A stack end up going right back the correct direction again. Nifty looks, does find Automatic. Good job just to make sure. Now Envy has a choice to make. They know we were all locked up towards those apartments. Is it a foot race to the A site?
Golden putting down that Molotov on Catwalk. Able to find Psalm as the first kill on the round. The rotations are coming in as well. We are going to see Fugly defend the bomber in that situation as Rush pushing up towards CT spawn. He has armor.
Nifty's got the bomb. He has to go back to that site to plant. Right now he's taking an initial fight and allowing more and more time for Cloud9 to posture. Now they've cleared out Ticket Booth. The bomb will be planted safely, and you've got a 2v3. Cajun B can be a sacrifice here, and I would like to see that off saved from Golden. He's the last man standing, and he's on Catwalk right now looking at window. Turns the corner, can't quite make it out. Unfortunate. Cloud9, though, heading into the last round of this half. Envy on a bit of a streak themselves, but having that op saved would have been a night and day difference in this
Honestly, shout out to Nifty. Just keeping his back turned, watching CT or T-spawn that entire time, even while falling off, not really moving towards middle. And that's what throws really Cloud9's round back into the fray, because Automatic was in a great position to get that bomb, get out of there, maybe run back to A and create that man advantage situation, but Nifty checking his back actually catches Automatic.
Rush A
another
again.
Rush A.
Exact same strategy and exact same results. Watch him jump up and peek into jungle. Nobody's home this time, though. Almost play-by-play identical to the 5th round that Envy was able to steal away. Bomb will be planted the opposite side of the default box, and a 3v5 retake starts. Envy they must be getting that spawn for JDM. They have enough money to be able to afford him the op, and they'll go to town on him.
Yeah, Cloud9 do have the smokes for halls as well as A ramp, so there is a possibility of a retake, but now as Cajun B gets taken down towards the A flank, it's all onto Vice now as Golden 2 falls.
Kills don't even really matter at this point. Airs out a grenade. Minimal damage to Fugly from that. He needs to find 3 kills real quick because the bomb is ticking real far. 10-5. It was a closed out half. 4 rounds in a row for Team Envy to at least keep their head above water.
Yeah, an exact same half is what we finished on Inferno as well. So Envy more the same there. Starting off very slow, coming alive towards the end of the half, but really Cloud9 not being able to hit the shots that they were hitting during the start of that half. It was very unfortunate.
It was very unfortunate, and we'll take a look at some of these highlights, but we've got obviously more action to come with Envy. Their backs against the wall. Cloud9 looking for their first W. You're watching the Pro League. Stay tuned.
Почему не устала? Потому что мыть легко. Окна КБЕ. Потому что мыть легко.
Мне как всегда. Что-то пусто сегодня.
Да только открылись.
Значит, я первый. Чемпион.
Здрасте. Нет его японского, как в предыдущие разы.
Разбираешься, что ли?
Знание – сила.
Здравствуйте, Виктор. Мне крепкого, надежного японского. Но опыт, мальчики, опыт.
Сила, знаний и опыт. Не хватает только красоты.
Йокохама. Как всегда.
Ladies and gents, welcome back to the Pro League. Last game of the day, possibly the last map. It's Cloud9 versus Envy. Cloud9 having the first map advantage to themselves. Envy always playing from behind so far. It has been a stretch as well, but at least they were able to close out the half with 4 in a row.
Yeah, and to begin this round, Golden lining up a smoke that I do imagine will be landing maybe towards Catwalk, maybe towards Connector here.
Nifty could actually get a quick flank from underneath right now.
Oh, so Golden's actually going to fake A with his smoke here. And as Nifty comes up that A ramp, is he going to be able to find these players off? He does find Cage and B, but the B strike is still going forward.
Yeah, but look at Automatic. Automatic's got the bomb.
This is the biggest fake ever.
And he'll plant the bomb at the A site. Got a kill back there. They were really selling this A site. If they were only able to get kills at the B site, they could actually force Envy to think about retaking the empty B site. But now you got a problem. Cloud9 have 2 players in tow, Golden and Automatic. They have a Molotov, and they don't have any real look at this. Automatic was hoping someone would come through that really tough spot through the hole, but instead he spots Android, and really there's 3 CTs out in front of him as well. Bomb's planted, it's been ticking for some time, and there's a kit out there, and it's being diffused in the smoke. They were able to take off one, but I don't know if Golden can manage to pick off Som. He will not. Som diffuses the bomb in the smoke with the kit, and Envy stopped the cheeky little play.
It was very cheeky out of the Cloud9 side to smoke off A and then hit that B side. I mean, Nifty really threw a wrench in it by getting that easy entry kill for his squad. But still, at the same time, Cloud9 moving out into A, Automatic gets that jungle control, that window control. And you really think the round is going to go the way of Cloud9 until Envy, with the 4-man retake through spawn, able to hit some great shots. And it ends up being Som with the full defuse in the smoke.
Golden running out, trying to transfer over to Som, but Som gets the better of him. And wisely, Automatic will take the bomb, throw it behind him if he wants to take this peek. And in doing so, I assume, yeah, he wants to be able to poke up in here towards this A site, take a fight. JDM has come down. Tetris now wraps across to the bottom side, at least a little bit wide of underneath Palace. Bomb recovered now and is doubled back. So you have Connector presence as well. Rush is able to actually get out Connector and put some rounds down range, but the aim punch seems to aggravate it as he goes down. Vacation B is able to return 1. This is actually so far successful, I would say, especially with Vice hanging out here right in the midst of things at jungle. 1 left, though.
Yeah, Automatic, the final member left going towards A ramp. JDM, easy spray down for him. So Envy on to 7. And Cloud9, Well, it does look like they'll be buying up into this round. Golden, who bought that AK in the previous round, not really able to contribute in terms of weaponry, but I'm sure he's going to grab the utility needed.
Yeah, he'll play support for it, and he's good for it. Got the CZ up there, and he'll probably be either direct entry or he'll be throwing a pop flash or two. He's got 2 of those, and then a smoke and a molly. Maybe it's just a setup. They've left the bomb in T-spawn, and maybe they'll be able to pick up themselves a pick or 2 on a overstepping Envy. Right now, JDM looks to be your most advanced player. He's at the connector right now, and he's not seeing anything at top mid. Android would be able to give him support. He's on catwalk right now, but that would be asking a lot to try and swing all the way out here. JDM's able to refrag right there against Automatic as the battle for mid continues. Might as well be the battle of the bulge, because right now Cloud9 have the territory, and they're even boosting over this smoke. How vulnerable is Golden right now to anything on catwalk? If Android was out there, he would see a very, very tall terrorist hanging out in mid.
Wait, that was a bold play from Golden, getting on top of Rush's head, but he doesn't get bit for it. He is going to recover the AK that was on catwalk. We are looking at double aggression towards a ramp out of the Envy side.
Yeah, they might end up losing the bomb for this. Vice needs to come up massive. Luckily, though, JDM has left Psalm here. Now, Psalm remains on an off angle. How quick is Vice to respond to this? Checks it, gets it as well. Cajun B picks up one out there, and it suddenly turns to Cloud9's favor. A 3-1 advantage, and it could have gone south so fast, but the bomb was defended. The bomb will be planted, and now Fugly, with a lackluster weapon and a mere flashbang, would have to find the wounded players first in Cajun B and Vice, and it does look like he's going to back off.
Yeah, Fugly falling back towards middle wisely so, going to recover that AK that was on catwalk and go ahead and save their Cloud9 with some great shots to open up that map. Really, Vice towards a ramp needed to get his killer. That bomb's going to fall, and it's going to give Psalm the opportunity now to burn that clock even further. But Vice able to connect on it will give Cloud9 now their 11th round.
Yep. And it just took him a second to get started into it, but Cloud9 do eventually get the engine running on this second half. The pistol was picked up by Envy, and they picked up that second round as well. And really, I thought Envy were about to swing into Cloud9 really heavy, right into the gut, because that would have been a deflating thing to your ego if you at one point had this match 10-1, and then suddenly things are so quickly turned back around. Envy is it's quite a task that they're able to get this far already.
Yeah, a huge scoreline lead for Cloud9. I mean, Envy bringing it back. You got to imagine they're happy. They're pumped. They're confident that they can do this. Cloud9 now, this is essentially their game that they're allowing Envy to come back into. And if you're Envy, you're going to capitalize on every single mistake that Cloud9 gives you because you're on the cusp of tying this game up.
Fugly right there in the little niche in the connector, swings out, gets them both. What a transfer to Golden as well. He just follows through on his spray. Rush is trying to get up there quickly, but in fact, if he were to try and take this fight against Fugly and finish what his teammates started, he would get encapsulated by 3 CTs that remain. Rush through that smoke. Envy trusted it far too much, thinking that was a concrete wall. He got some slipping into the sight from Cajun B, but he's been snuffed out by JDM, who's happy to be able to pick up this weapon. Rush 1 and 2.
What?
I don't know how he was credited with a headshot against Psalm, and it's a 2v2 suddenly, instantly like that.
Now Fugly picking out this window. Vice being able to take him down leaves only Android. He's got plenty of HP, but that Molotov towards catwalk. He's going to be able to push it.
And the bomb's out in the open. Can he see this? There's another smoke there, and he just avoids it. Rush is able to grab the bomb and strafe, jumping over the salvo from Android. This is going to be a task. I believe this was 2v4, back to a 1v1. Rush at 10 HP. The spams are there. Rush has decided to go back into the firebox, and Android would be hard-pressed to find it. Firebox is not a spot you would think he'd be defending from when the bomb is planted at the triple boxes.
Yeah, Android keen on this CT spawn for being Rush's position. You're going to be clearing all the way down. Now as he doesn't see it, I do imagine he'll take out that smoke. He's actually going to go towards Firebox.
Oh,
he finds him, and that will be the defuse going the way of Envy. Nice little 1v1 at Android.
Right, and he's got no kit. He'll defuse this
Plenty
one.
of time.
Yeah, he's got this one with about a second and X.
Oh my goodness!
You made me second guess myself. I was like, man, he's still sticking that bomb.
What was that, like a .1, .2 on that bomb?
Well, I mean, when the bomb turns white, that diffuse essentially, you got maybe a tenth of a second left on that, or maybe a little bit more, but that is as close as it gets. I like that Android just sprayed it down and got to the bomb, but just a hair too late, and Cloud9 just eked their way into that round. I think he was probably about a second back behind, maybe less, looking at that again. That was close,
He was right there.
way close.
He was right there. Nonetheless, Cloud9 now onto 12, Envy onto that eco, and by the looks of it, it will be just a slow mid default to start this round off. Look at these players on Envy that are aggressed towards lower B. They may be able to actually catch some players off here, Dallas.
All right, Fugly is sitting there. I think he's got a Zeus in hand. But Vice swings out a bit too far and a bit too fast. Now the remaining players that are underneath are starting to get mopped up, flushed out, and Android and Psalm are left alone. So this is probably going to end up being a 13-7 lead as Cloud9 start to extend themselves again, getting away from Envy as far as they can. And what do you think for the future for Envy? What do they need to do? Do they need to dig deep and go for a double op? Do they have that capability?
Well, right now, yeah, they're going to be saving, I guess, one more, but this double kill here, actually, or crossfire setup, I should say, from Android and Psalm is going to net them quite a few kills as Android also takes down Vice.
Suddenly a 1v2. He's got a Galil. It's not the greatest, but hey. Suddenly things have
now he's got an AK.
Up. Yeah, they're perked up a bit. He's going to pick it up, so it's going to scatter on the ground. He'll just spray, hoping to pick up something at stairs. And if he did pick up something at stairs, okay, then maybe he thinks about taking that site in a 1v1. Instead, he's not rewarded with a kill for the spam through the smoke, and he'll hold on to the AK for the next round. That ended up turning out not too shabby from Envy.
Android now falling back towards the B halls. Does look like none of the Cloud9 players are going to be chasing, wisely so, as their economy's not built up. There's no need to chase. They want to get some dollars into their pockets and see where that takes them. But Envy, on the other hand, well, they've got to buy up into this next round. They've got to get guns on the field. They got to start pushing forward.
All right, I hear clapping from the players' room, and that 6-round lead is there. Now what do you do if you're Envy? They've already bought JDM's op. He's unable to get any, well, he will buy up some grenades behind. He's got 650 bucks, so get yourself 2 of those nades.
Maybe a kit here, as nobody really else on the side of Envy.
Nifty should be able to buy a kit comfortably here with utilities. Still got that AUG.
Yeah,
he needs the armor in there, but he should have more than enough to be able to buy up that. So we'll take a timeout, and Envy will talk about what they need to do to approach this differently. Let's theorize about what Envy's talking about.
I think they're just going to decide on maybe getting aggressive towards middle with that AWP early on, either sending JDM towards that catwalk, making that window jump over towards Cat, looking for that early pick, or maybe even pushing all the way up for mid control. I do imagine the op of JDM, it's more of an aggressive op. He likes getting in your face, so it's going to be interesting to see what he does decide to do here as the round starts.
Okay. They were able to speak it over. Let's see which way JDM goes. He has a pretty good spawn for getting into the window, so I would expect him to get into that spot and post up in mid. Psalm will do the honors like a gentleman, open in the window for him. Even, oh no, doesn't allow JDM to run first. Drops the molly in there in case that the smoke were to come in, but it does not. As a matter of fact, Golden takes the opportunity to sprint into mid. They've remollied it, I believe, so still JDM can't get into the fight. It still burns out in front of him. So the mid presence right now is really catwalk. Not even connector is there. So all this movement is allowed, permitted, so that Cloud9 can get up and in. They've taken a 2-for-2 trade. The spam through the box from Nifty is on target. Automatic's able to return the frag, but this round has quickly, still with a $120 on the clock, already gone down to a 2v2.
Okay, and the resmoke towards connector is going to provide Golden with a lot of protection now. He's in an advantageous situation as Android does have to wait behind him. Did look like Android was getting ready to flash through that smoke, but he is going to opt against it. Now Android giving away his position as well. Golden getting pop flash through. Android's flashed off, and we actually see Fugly push at the same time, and we're into a 1v1 here, Dallas.
Now Golden tried to get out of connector. He tried to open up more angles that Fugly would have to worry about, but he instead gets caught in transition, and Envy do convert on that. A very fast play, and I love the idea that Cloud9 recognized how quickly they could get into mid and make use of it so fast. There was catwalk presence from Envy, but there was no window presence, there was no connector presence, and Cloud9 went right through the gut, straight into the middle, and played a really fast execute into the A site, and it's just hats off to Envy that they were able to stop something like that.
Okay, and because of that round win for the Envy side, Cloud9, no money whatsoever, will be onto the save here, giving Envy the opportunity to creep even closer towards this tie game. Nifty aggressed on Catwalk, able to take down Golden. We do see the players moving up lower B as well.
Yeah, JDM took a licking in there too, so he's just going to throw a Molotov in behind him and retreat back to a more comfortable climate, back into that A site, rather deep, I think, as well. Not even real pistols out here, just P250s and a Deagle, so automatic can go out there and hurt somebody at a distance. But being a spot where you have so many ops on the field from Envy and so many rifles, there shouldn't have too much of a problem taking these fights at range, only if luck would have it for automatic to be able to find those shots.
Automatic now looking towards the end of halls here, where Som is playing under balcony, as well as the reinforcement from JDM, who's playing in CT spawn. The rest of the Cloud9 team moving up connector ever so slowly after boosting Cage and B to control that window point. We will see A being contacted with. Fugly does take down Cage and B. That's a massive kill out of him, now opening up that entire window area. But what can Automatic do? Missing those shots onto JDM.
He's firing through the floorboards as well against Som, so they know where your CTs are. Automatic does eventually dial it in. 2, though. JDM's been reinforced, and Fugly, in fact, picks up that kill over the shoulder of JDM. And I think Envy, after missing those first couple shots from JDM, recognized that there was a problem. Instant rotations from the B site to give support to your wounded oppers. Kind of lean on each other's shoulders at that point, and Envy are able to avoid an embarrassing casualty rate when it comes to just some pistols up there. And really, it's what Envy had done to Cloud9 just earlier, a couple rounds ago. That's why Cloud9 were sitting on a couple pistols.
Cloud9 no longer on pistols, however, buying up these AKs, Dallas. They do have a Galil, however, on Cage and B, but they should find success regardless of that one weapon. Envy, on the other hand, plenty of firepower on them to hold back Cloud9. It will be JDM with a little bit of contact early on, down to 34 HP. That's going to keep him at bay just for a little bit here. A smokes coming out now, and the execute getting ready to hit.
I think they got a dink against JDM up there as well. Classic smokes come in. JDM has put himself into the ninja position. He's looking at sandwich. Hopefully someone swings out wide. Everything in front of him is just getting a bit chaotic. Automatic gets 2 kills. JDM gets 1 shot in against Golden, but it's more than enough for value for Cloud9, trading 2 for 3. Now the bomb's planted safely so, and you still have players that are off-site, so they weren't even forced to commit directly to the site. The bomb has been planted, and you didn't have to retreat. Now it's going to be a task for Nifty and Android to get back into this site. That's actually a sick smoke. I don't know if that was intended. Maybe it was intended to go up top, but it bounced off that 1-inch thick plywood and right over back towards the bomb, at least in front of the default position. They back off.
Yeah, wisely so. Not being given anything from Cloud9, they realized that, hey, it's better for us to take these guns, bring it into next round. We'll have another opportunity, and that's exactly what Envy's going to do here. And you got to be happy with that if you're watching this game, because Envy going for that round, if they fall, Dallas, their money is shot. Not only that, well, Cloud9's on 14, so Envy not having the money to buy back up will prompt them now to get that, semi-quasi buy, just kind of pistols, maybe some MP9s, and that really puts Cloud9 in the driver's seat. Having this op still in play here allows the Envy side to go big and maybe turn this round on its head right away.
Now, so far, both teams have been able to pick up 4 rounds in this half. But Cloud9 having such a dominant first half means that they have a much shorter road to get to the W. Mid presence, Android and Som pushing up quickly. Golden ahead of his flashbang, well played. He pops that off and starts to fall back, realizing that he's got a lot of players out in front of him. But does the execute to A happen immediately? Sometimes you see that when if they're playing fast mid, you're gonna just play fast A yourself. They do stop though, right at the front of A main. They're still hesitant about getting in there. They'll trade 1 for 1, and they're pretty happy with that one. Pushing into the site though, they're still very nervous about planting this bomb. The smokes will soon fade, and this is when things can get a little bit chaotic. The spray, that strikes true. Som gets the headshot to the body shot, and the bomb is on the ground. Cloud9 were wise to be scared about planting that one with so many players still alive.
Yeah, now not really having any utility. Automatic with that Molotov in hand, looking for where he wants to throw it. It is going to be a jungle Molotov, allowing the Cloud9 team to actually pick towards that connector side. And JDM taking down Cage and B in the halls now as Golden White swinging on connector, able to take down Som, but Fugly quickly trading that one out. And it will be Automatic within this A site trying to make it happen.
It's being jump peeked by Nifty, so he spotted them there at default. And Envy don't have to move. That bomb just kept getting fumbled and fumbled and fumbled closer and closer to jungle, harder and harder to recover. And Cloud9 drop another round. Envy so far just barely squeaking the lead on this half, 5-4 for themselves, but they're getting a little bit closer.
And there you have it, the AWP being saved in the previous round. JDM comes back with it into this round, picks up 2 kills on his own, and that's what you wanted, right? You wanted to have that AWP on the field just for the exact reason as that. The AWP can be so impactful across the map, and JDM really shows up to allow his team to get that 10th round.
And you got to remember as well that Som hit that bomb planter while he's planting in the smoke. Got the headshot, followed up with the body shot for the spray, and that extended the round and made things difficult for Cloud9. And that bomb kept fumbled from there, from triple box, all the way to jungle. That's how many bodies were picked up and picked off trying to get to their objective. So now it should be an easy time for Envy to collect themselves a handful of eco frags.
Android's already aggressed towards Catwalk, not spotting anything though thus far. We do see Automatic leading the charge on this Catwalk area. There should be some contact being made momentarily as Android does take down Golden. And that's going to prompt the Envy players now to start drifting towards Catwalk as Vice moves all the way into B, able to take down Fugly.
Wow. Wow. Now they're going to try and make their way across Catwalk. The bomb is there, but they're actually going to jump possibly into the window, holding the high ground. It's only Automatic left. Deagle's in. It's accurate enough, and Som's wounded back there, so if he were to peek out, he does, and Automatic almost lined him up. He had him center of mass.
Could have been
right
scary.
In the center of the chest, but didn't pull the trigger, died just in time, leaving Envy on that 11th round, wanting more.
Yeah, Cloud9 now, they won't be looking for too strong of a buy. We do see the first time out in this series from Cloud9. They've not even taken that timeout on Inferno, so they are going to use their first timeout in this entire series just to discuss how they want to approach this buy. Remember, no ops on the field as they're just short of that. Vice ending up with a Galil, and I do think Cloud9 will be going for a 3-2 split on B. That's what I'm calling this strategy.
All right, calling it already?
Got a 3-2 split on B.
information?
I think it's going to be a 3-2 split on B.
All right, I heard you. We'll mark it down. It's in ink. Envy, I think they're going to go for a 2-1-2 defense. JDM has been floating around a lot. He's not necessarily in the window. We've seen him poking up aggressive in the Palace as well. We've seen him aggressive on A main. He could be anywhere, and that might be confusing and frustrating to Cloud9 because they don't know exactly where the big guns are, where the weakness is in Envy's defense.
Okay, and to start this round, Cloud9 moving heavy towards middle. The bomb also joining in. Doesn't look like they're actually going to be heading to B right off the bat. Cajun B now lurking towards the end of halls as Cloud9 moving out towards middle, not seeing any contact as there is a player towards lower in Som, and he's going to be able to pick up the first frag of the round.
Disgusting defense from Envy. Double one-way smokes in mid. Having a rifler and an AWP. JDM's AWP was in the window on a one-way as well. Earns them a 2-for-1 trade at the end of the day. JDM does have to worry about one player, that being Vice just underneath him. JDM gets a little rat-a-tat-tat from the Galil, and they will disengage. But the bomb's in the apartments right now from Automatic. It's currently smoked off, as you can see, but there's only one defender here for the time being. Soon to be Fugly rotating back off a Catwalk, though, and joining Android arm in arm.
Yeah, Fugly now moving into this site. It does look like he's going to be boosting Android up. Yep. No, they're actually just doubled up together here. This is a bold decision out of the two players. The Molotov now coming towards Van. That's going to burn Fugly down. Easy entry for him. Android gets spotted as well. And just like that, Cloud9 have opened up that B bomb site.
Wow, what movement from Automatic. It was just a flick, and the momentum just slung him out of the window, so much so that Envy had no idea that he escaped. Now Nifty and JDM have to think about a retake or a save. The money is absolute garbage for Envy right now. Both of these players have $700 in change. That is it, and they're committing. They're going to sink their teeth down on this site. They see nothing. They're not going to give him anything. In fact, Automatic swings out. Now he swings back the other direction, rubber banding, and he will be taken down. But JDM not likely to win this one. He spots a shadow, so he'll pursue Vice, but Vice is going to be there to greet him and say, no, I don't even need your op.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Yeah, exactly. It was very interesting to see Vice not go for that op there, but it's just a testament to Cloud9's play style. They all want to be very fast. They want to be very mobile with each other here. So Cloud9 opting not to pick up that AWP, but that B hit. Yeah, they go down numbers very early on into that round, but like you just mentioned, automatic jumping out of the window. Really, that van Molotov was the massive impact within the round. That Molotov landing towards the van allowed Automatic to see Fugly jumping up onto it, pick up that easy frag. Then Android coming out for the trade gives away his positioning to Automatic, but he ends up being taken out by Vice anyway. And then from that point, it just becomes some good timing from Automatic onto Nifty, who was trying to retake, and the round goes Cloud9's way.
Yeah, that was actually genius from Automatic when you think about that. That Molotov flushing out players, and he's all like, as soon as the Molotov hits the ground, his boots hit the ground on the site level, and he's already looking to top van. So that is just a design set play from him, and he played it to a T. So now Cloud9 are at the precipice of victory, just one more. Envy, though, would have to try and get 4 in a row, and if you want to think about the odds of that, they've only been able to chain 2 rounds together. They've done that 3 times so far in this half. They need perfection from here on out.
Does look like Cloud9 very heavy towards B once again here. Maybe this is the round where they actually get the split that they want off, but it doesn't look like it, as the other members of the C9 side just very slow in middle. Not really pushing too hard, not pressing the issue. It does look like Android will be playing right under this van as Cajun B takes down Fugly towards window. There we go, bomb moving up catwalk.
Yeah, Nifty's going to be the site defense now, the initial contact. He drops a smoke, but it's a little bit late, or is it? He's able to pick up 1, and then Android's able to get Vice. That might be enough to just falter the push, but it doesn't. Instead, they recognize that it is just some pistols, so take those fights at range. They do have JDM coming with a scout. They're both going to end up coming across catwalk. The bomb's planted in his default position. This is a really difficult move for JDM and Som, but JDM's been boosted to the high ground on top of the boxes. He'll look into the apartments, but the utility is there. Great shot from JDM, but that burns them out in front, so they have to hesitate. They have to wait, and they have no kit.
Automatic also has a smoke as well. The flash coming in actually blinds Automatic, giving the opportunity for the retake, but up in the halls, Automatic finds a kill as well as Rush, and that is it. 16-11 Dallas. Cloud9 will take map 2 and the series 2-0.
And we saw first half dominance, but that second half ended up